It was seen as a bit of a weakness for a point, but it's something that they put an awful lot of time into. And by not playing it early, you get to watch all the other teams with all of their concepts and ideas, and you can go, we like that, we'll take that, and we'll build that into our philosophy of how to approach this.
Oh, that's a scary feeling for any Bianca. Just Malbs on an island with an entire squad coming his way. Oh, a messy connection. Doesn't quite find lethality onto Apex, and so the...
Y ahora estaremos reaccionando a esta competencia de CSGO. Simplemente he vuelto a jugar y ahora estoy emocionado por saber otra vez los trucos que necesito para ser bueno en este juego.
Be more of the same into the next, and you can just go for the same type of play. So Vitality 2-1 up, and not looking to hunt right now, looking to retain. This is a Vitality where Zywo, kid's got 29 MVPs. You've got the 10 trophies.
Este mapa, ¿qué tan nuevo es? Y además, me parece súper raro ver este mapa en competición.
In 18 events.
That's 29 MVPs and 10 trophies more than everyone in Twitch.
Están haciendo, supongo que son muy buenos haciendo contra Strife, ¿eh?
Yes, absolutely.
Having a look at some other...
I
guess their stat lines, but they're more like accolades. So 17 consecutive top 4 finishes.
Whoa.
But they're 2 off of the great Astralis, who had 19, but then Astralis also had 11 consecutive and then 10 consecutive in different streaks.
Okay.
So Vitality are the second of all time, but Astralis are 1, 3, and 4. And then I think it's Mouse. Actually, Mouse could be in there somewhere a bit more. But anyway.
Second of all time just doesn't...
No, it doesn't sound as good, does it? No. But these early stages of 2026 is like compound learning from in these events, especially with how stacked Cluj is. That's a mistake. I think they've said as much. They know that they should have been in attendance here, but either way, everyone else will feast on their mission.
It's a really nice HE that he's got the lineup for their Apex. It's such a common position to be kind of jiggling from with a smoke in your hand, and so he can punish someone doing that. Forces him back with the flames afterwards.
How long can you stand that boost? Yeah, dismantling now. It felt like they were already maybe at that pressure point.
It's kind of reminiscent, the same idea where they want to apply pressure from main, take that E-box space, and the bomb goes a main. Heavy God is in a real committed position. That's a hell of a shot. And Heavy God returns the favor. Bomb. Yeah. Flames, he's committed. Holds on to it.
Yeah, they can back off. Defensive smoke can be away. And Heavy God tracking through the smoke.
Oh, Hunter was heard, no? Near him does adjust quickly, though. Hanging around to punish Heavy God.
Wow, es que,
okay, so we haven't seen anything just yet from Vitality. I understand that they win the force and then they deal with the force buys back. But anything where they're playing around the new changes, right? As far as middle, that's where the early concern is going to be. So otherwise it's been standard. They've considered the potential for it, but let's see, do they try and play around it? And this is something that with G2, they had a long game against Liquid.
Crazy is pre-aiming the boost. Respect to Mezzi for that one.
This is looking very direct. Everybody heading over towards the A side of the map right now.
They think they've done enough to condition them to stay light on A. Well played.
Dame B es menos corto y menos complicado de decir. ¿Cómo va a ser B menos corto? ¿Cómo que?
All the way out B main.
Yeah.
They know it's not B main.
Okay, this is actually huge. Very
Brian the love to your stream
is outside of A. Heavy God's reaction is a general smoke.
He might even get flames at the feet, so that block coming out early. Are they really just going to posture in water and execute A behind this?
Yes.
Sampias is close by. Hunter playing from camera.
I think what happened was that if they, because of the extinguish, they couldn't line up their nade. Sampias there to support. Now they go straight into the spray from Sampias, traded out by Flamesy. It's Heavy God, strong on his site, getting run at. Just one from Robs. Hunter's very low. He's not going to find him. The new bigger boss. Oh, he's still alive. He's going to use that smoke to his own success. He's going to try and slink through in the blind spot. Robs is not looking, not ready. Side by side. Taking their time, wait for that smoke to fade. Robs and Mattis going to have a head-to-head. Mattis onto Apex. Rob's getting cheeky.
No.
The mystery of that smoke right there.
Got exciting for a minute for the Robs multi.
Yeah, Sampias putting his life on the line to draw the fire there, and then Heavy God gets to activate as the anchor with the multi-kill.
Yeah, we love a selfless teammate. Makes it a whole lot more viable for the multi for Heavy God by taking the early engagement.
So that's a solid rifle round to pick up. This is too easy right there behind the flames. Just knocked over an important one there from Mattis to
¿Qué
alleviate the
pasó con
pressure
tu
and then
último
drops.
mensaje? ¿Se borró?
Doesn't even see.
Ah, lo
Runs
borraste.
He's able to buy in again. AWP for Zywoo. AKs for the rest. And look how quick this is.
This is an AWP.
Look how quick this is.
No. Oh, le dio.
My God, Zywoo.
He's got somewhere to be.
No, no, no,
Yeah, he's
increíble.
in a rush.
Hace unos días, con ese
Holy,
stream
Heavy
aquí,
God's probably never
bueno, de
died
hecho
that
fue
quick.
el
to a wall.
penúltimo
Beelined
stream.
into A main
Bueno,
with the
contando
AWP.
Anubis, I
Just
can't.
launching
El
it.
penúltimo
Wow.
stream,
That's cool. Really love that.
Well,
asesinatos
it feels like both
en
these
el
rifle rounds in a
juego,
row, it's
con
clear that they want to keep
sniper,
Heavy God in the mud, who's been having a tough
tremendamente
series.
rápido. Quedé impresionado. Que mis amigos no lo vieron.
Searching now.
Y no saqué clip de eso.
Reaggress. Smoke on the side as Zywoo
No
lobs it
problema.
out.
No saco clips.
Blocked by a smoke. Down above T stairs, and this is a
Mira,
gamble.
aquí.
So hoping
Que bueno. Voy a poner
picked
esta cámara.
correctly. The decoy thrown out deep mid.
Este no.
Mavs is going to have to go huge. Smoke drops at 40 seconds. That's a bit of a buffer, but they can blow this open. So HG on Apex.
Yeah, and he's going to try and use that smoke, and it's going to force him to be exposed. Now he's trying to play ahead, block the util, make it weird. Could have an angle now. He's manufactured one
El
around the jail side.
autocorrector. Quiere decir que me llames
Is the flashbang ready? Poised and just the one.
Round.
Yeah, that should
Even
be
with
it.
the rally of U2 coming in, nobody moved a muscle on the A side. G2 just staying planted with their gamble stack.
Ok, ¿por qué le
Mavs
dices
is
ese
definitely
nombre?
feeling a bit sold at the moment,
So,
isn't he?
but, okay, guys, if I kill them all, we can win the
No,
round. If not, I guess
elegidos
you
nombres,
guys hold on to your
avatars,
guns. But
no, avatars
loss
no.
bonus 1900 going into the next.
Apodos.
Poor sod.
Siempre
Heavy
trato
God
que
will be
sea
able to buy.
bueno,
Curious to see
corto
what they do
y
about the Malbs
medianamente
scenario.
fácil de
Maybe Heavy God
pronunciar.
has to
Realmente,
upgrade, saying
si yo lo
less.
pronuncio bien, no me
Malbs
importa lo
gets the
demás.
rifle. They want to take the
Lo
save
tengo
with the 3
muchos
guns and then
apodos.
go for a team buy
He
into the
puesto
following.
Ale,
Those questions and many more coming into the next.
he puesto Narmats, he puesto otro nombre que ahorita no recuerdo, he puesto Kyosaga,
To think how
que
that
en
round
realidad
started
sería solo
with Zywoo
Kyo.
just running into main with the
Ese solamente se puede
AWP.
pronunciar como Gio.
And then they walk into a site with
Pena.
just one man defending. The power of that opening kill and
Y
the
Dal
power
Pop.
of the CTs having a gamble.
Yeah, that's a baller move from Zywoo.
Timeout taken. Saw on the mic. So Malbs is in with a Famous. And Heavy got the same. It's going to at least give them more utility. Okay, Heavy got sold back into an MP9. So different orders being issued. Just going through the spawns. Heavy God doesn't have one of the best spawns to be using the timing to try and push out the hole.
Pregunto, ¿quién será el mejor equipo
Timeout has elapsed
que tienen
back
ahorita
in round 7
Counter-Strike?
of our third map, deciding how
Porque yo
and who
desde
will be
hace
going into that 1
hace
win,
años,
0 losses column here in Swiss.
he estado
Today's
pendiente
biggest
de
upset. Well,
qué
I don't know
equipos
if it's
son
biggest
buenos.
upset. I think Foot, if people are paying
Con nombres
attention,
nada
I know
más.
they're good, but they took down Aurora. FaZe picked up a win.
Nah,
It's nice to see
tremendo,
after their
¿Cuándo fue? Fue ayer.
miserable
Fue ayer.
performance.
Oh,
Porque
very
este mapa
difficult to get a
conmigo,
sightline.
y
No
nos fue mal.
He has dropped in. Love this
no,
from Hunter.
bueno, la cosa es que no me
Throws some
acuerdo si
aggression, supportive
perdimos o
flashes from
ganamos.
A, and
Pero-
caught cancelling. Rare
Pero para
misplay
hacer un
from
mapa
Robs.
nuevo,
Hunter punishes
para
and they have taken the B
nosotros,
side
That's
just like
it,
that.
they're in.
Puede
No
ser.
one Temple. Some Pius was playing a passive game. Malbs, both of them
Es
congregated
decir,
in
había
towards the
muchas
E-box
cosas que
fight.
no
How long does it take
sabíamos.
Vitality to start setting up this post plan? That
Aquí hay que
becomes the
hacer
biggest question
pre-game.
right now.
Aquí hay que
You have
lanzar
a lot of players
una.
coming in
Por
through
aquí hay otra
E-box, but
ruta.
B-main's also
Y
going to
aún
be a
así,
problem.
No, they can keep it smoked. You're right.
Yeah,
B-main is the main
calla.
conversation, but look
Well,
at
Apex
Apex.
is in.
Apex has got such a perfect position. They're not even considering this.
nos esforzamos para hacer lo mejor.
Two
¡A la verga!
easy frags. There's the first.
Ya sabes
Heavy
dónde
God
está, ya
likes
sabes
to
dónde está. ¡Ah!
swing. Apex does
Uy,
control the
tenía
spray
el
for
pick
the
advantage
headshot.
y no lo logró. ¡Opa!
Now sticking around.
¡Verga!
Only for a
No, ya no
moment.
está.
That's how it gets
¿Cómo
to
roto
him.
tan
That's
rápido?
tough. It's just grouped up Counter-Strike. There's really no nuance to that. It's like, okay, you guys want to take water, which means you're going to
No,
have somebody
increíble.
coming out the hole. There'll be a supportive element, and you're going to have players playing through
Información aquí.
E-box, right? Hunter isn't just going to do
Realmente
this
te
on his own.
muestras a dónde está
So we'll just
mirando
walk it
cada
through B main.
jugador en la pantalla. Parece que si incluso recibe daño, se ve. La vida está en el color naranja o azul.
Absolutely cutthroat from Vitality.
Están usando la... Y aquí de verdad, pidió el pick advantage y no le dio. ¿Aquí lo mató? ¿En serio? La verdad no me quedó claro.
Stylish from ZywOo.
This is looking... I understand the map still, at least in my opinion, has a T-side bias.
De granadas, es lo básico, uno dice, ok, sí, la granada, tiene que bloquear ahí. Break técnica, te permite poner la granada en un lugar mejor que otro.
Keeps us in a 4-on-4. He knows Sampayas was there.
Mira, lo tiene en la cabeza, pero creo que hay un pilar.
Drop the smoke to block. Apex goes down for free. This one gets tricky.
Ese pick. ¡Uf! Ah, pensé, estaba del otro lado. Estaba ahí. ¡Uy! La iba a fallar igual. Igual iba a fallar. Estaba clarísimo que igual iba a fallar. Realmente cuando el otro se asomó, no estaba en esa posición.
Definitely happy to see Mattis if you're Malbs. A little bit of a helping hand in defending of this B-side this time.
Might be able to find the gun in the smoke here, Malbs.
He's looking for it, and he has found it. A-Bane pushes massive from Sampayas. He's already sneaking out. Rob is going to be caught off guard by this potentially.
He's got a buffer while that smoke's up, but when it fades, surely he's faded into this now.
Para mí, lo tengo todavía muy bajo.
I mean, Robs is always diligent.
Y le bajo un poco de stream.
Not gonna clear it. Not gonna clear it. Sampayas, take the shot, man. Take it. It's right there for the taking.
No.
From number 2. Flamesy brought low, but he is still alive, hoping for an overextension.
30 seconds. Need to pick a site right now.
It looks like it's going to be B with the position of Mezzi. And they're going to lose the bomb here. Flamesy caught looking the wrong way. Perfect. Double swing. Communication flowing for G2.
Yeah, Mezzi needs to start moving if he wants to win this.
Yeah, the bomb's all the way deep into the water. Bobbing around.
Yeah, no way. Mattis also has a molly, right? Even if Malbs
goes down, en qué momento habrán tomado la decisión de decir. Ya no será Counter-Strike global offensive.
Yeah, you think about you dropping an ancient, right? In T-spawn, it'll flow into different positions.
Será Counter-Strike 2. Me pregunto cuándo tomarán esa decisión.
Yeah, well, how many times are you dropping the bomb in water other than ancient T-spawn? And then at that, you're probably not dropping it on the floor, you're dropping it on the teammate.
Estaba planeando hacer las mejoras del juego.
You can't argue with that one. And that mid-aggression from Hunter, you think, okay, well, they can't get that rifle back. This is going to be tough. But then Apex goes looking on his own. He goes down.
Oh, bueno, no recuerdo si la gente especulaba que esto se iba a
Apex on his lonesome. There's no trade potential. They can't really capitalize off the top of that. So, not one of the deaths you're hoping to give away as an in-game leader.
Eso sí, pasó el hype.
Hunter has managed to seize it this time. A little bit more to work
no lo volví a jugar más. Realmente el hype fue quizá durante el tiempo en que se especulaba que salió el juego. Creo que no lo pude jugar bien. Intenté comprarme algunas skins.
Not the second time, right? Hunter posts up, waits for his comp players. The flashers come. They try and catch you in the open. It works again.
I wouldn't be surprised if, as this year progresses, we hear teams calling for a G2 on CT side. That's probably going to be copy and pasted by a few squads. Oh my God, there's everyone here. It's a party.
It's a party.
And oh dear, G2 weren't invited. Mattis and Heavy God were. Double response. And now a smoke push. Mattis, are you crazy? Oh, Mezzi's going to be mad.
It's going from bad to worse for Mr. Merriman.
Yeah,
ZywOo in the clutch.
Brutal. All right, we love a ZywOo clutch. Been a while. Quick one onto Heavy God. Goes for a second fake, trying to catch Malbs on the walk-up. Here's the scope. It clears him out, but Malbs stands his ground.
Yeah, read the situation, didn't he, ZywOo? Just quicker to it was Malbs. All right, one-round game now. Timeout taken. We've got 3.8 on Apex and 3.4 on Rob. So that's the low end right now. Everybody else can get what they desire for this buy. But think about the rounds that they won where it's a bit more direct. So we saw the AXQ where they were slightly stalled out. You get yourself into... Oh, they actually ended up losing that round, didn't they, with the Heavy God double. But then you get the Rob's death, the Hunter, where they pathed straight in through B main. This time round, not in a position to be able to respond as quickly and as a unit. So this is getting tough. Just 3 rounds left in this half. Lost bonus, bottom of the barrel.
¿Qué es eso de buffering?
Into the next Vitality, so not be enough to buy if they do end up losing a third consecutive.
Y ayer
It's assuming no saves.
A mi amigo, entre los drops gratuitos, le salió un sniper AWP de $26 aproximadamente. Tremendo, Eso quizás nos ha pasado una vez en la vida sin contar esa ocasión. A mí no recuerdo si me ha pasado, pero literalmente como que el día que íbamos a jugar era el jueves. Yo estaba diciéndole, ojalá no salga en esos drops gratuitos. También los han cambiado el sistema de cómo los entregan. Estaba diciendo, ojalá nos toque una Dragon Lore a cada uno. Y bueno, a mí no me tocó nada, subí de nivel, no me tocó nada bueno, elegí una caja, un spray. A él le salió la caja y el sniper. Estuvo bueno eso, la verdad. Me pregunto si hay chance de toque 2 o 4 skins en el mismo lugar. O y siempre será una caja, un aspecto que sea la skin, más 2 stickers. No, stickers no, sprites. No, sprites.
Pep talk from Apex.
2 more rounds available, and
I mean a 6-6 sounds amazing. Not looking particularly realistic given the finances.
No, and that was the thing, right? But these rounds that they've been slugging for,
no me he fijado,
pero supone que ya it's been tough on this CT side. They haven't been clean rounds keeping everybody alive. So they are playing for 5, essentially. They take just a partial round now. They'll full buy into round number 12 coming up next.
Realmente,
yeah, okay, Rob's been having a real tough time.
Muy bueno.
Can't seem to catch a break.
Aparentemente muy bueno. Pero siendo tan reciente, hay gente que dice, ok, invierte en comprar el mouse. Y la gente espera a que pasen algunos meses porque es una tecnología muy nueva. Pero si realmente se comprueba que bueno, va a ser muy funcional, va a ser duradero, no tiene repercusiones a largo plazo, la gente se ve que realmente te da una ventaja para jugar, la gente va a terminar comprando ese mouse y va a terminar si es así, bueno, va a haber pocas chances que en algunos juegos competitivos uno pueda ser bueno si no tiene ese mouse. Porque estás en desventaja. Es lo típico. ¡No! Uy, carajo, ¿cómo me pone tan nervioso cuando la gente toma esas decisiones? Pero claro, sin saber de que realmente están ahí. Es como, wow, uno lo ve y realmente es como, oye, está ahí, no te ocurra hacer eso. Y ganaron. Uy, sobrevivió el terrorista.
The partial investment, though, of course, 4 kills. That's just not quite enough.
Yeah, I think you're looking for the AWP there, right? Because Flamesy also, with the litter of corpses, was having a tough time grabbing that, but does get it, does give it to Zywoo.
Ya, además, no. Mira, ese, el del medio, el gordito, bueno, los el que está a la izquierda y el que está en el medio son gordos. Pero el del medio tiene el mouse más reciente de Logitech, el que estaba hablando. Tremendo. Si pudiera comprarlo, lo compraría. Pero es cierto que es hype, hay mucho hype. Es decir, es como la mejora se ve, pero no es tan inmensa como para decir este mouse es el mejor que hay. No es tan grande la diferencia. Pero es lo suficientemente perceptible para que te empiece a propagar la emoción del mouse y que de decir, oye, esto es lo mejor que hay en el momento, quizá deberías considerar comprarlo. Y yo ahorita tengo un Logitech. No tengo un trackpad porque está sucio, ¿no? Y... no, un trackpad. Realmente... no soy tan bueno en los FPS, sobre todo en tiempo de reacción in game. Son cosas que debo practicar. It's so epic. That's epic. This is epic. Oye, pero ¿por qué se borran algunos de tus mensajes? No entiendo. ¿Lo borras tú? ¿O es el moderador del canal? Porque, ok, en la... Vale, sí, en la... el propio chat del directo se ve completo. Es que está usando uno diferente. Pero... es que podría poner el chat abajo y no hay. Se viera mejor con el fondo negro. Oh, le va a poner aquí.
Oh, they're hearing that. That's so much intel from Matt.
They're all coming to search for Rops.
They want Rops.
Me falta uno.
It's pulled them out of A main. That's a lot of info. It enables them to just run into the site. So the bomb will get planted. Good flash. Good frag. Hunter catches one from the heavens. Oh, Zywood brought down a double from Hunter, and he's so disconnected.
He's got to run. It's back inside plant. They can just sit it.
Yeah, not planted for you, they say. Just accept your fate. There's nothing you can do here. Rob's getting his second frag, but it means absolutely nothing. Solid output from Hunter. Crazy couple of rounds.
Yeah, you think in that moment, with everybody chasing Rops to make sure that lurk can't come into play, round's going to be done. But they're having a laugh about that. You know, he's so disconnected. We flushed him all the way back. We win the round by virtue of him just running away. So that is a nice one to snatch away. They get the first and the last rounds of that first half, and it kicked off with a Mattis ace on the pistol. We only got 5 other kills since then. And the team couldn't even make good on the impact of his pistol ace. So that does feel a bit rough, but with the scoreline where it's at, this is still obtainable right now for G2. Can they kick off their Cluj campaign with an upset against the number ones?
Pero se reinició el chat.
Once they made it into the arena in Krakow,
se reinicia el chat.
Pretty uninspiring fashion.
En la cámara
Emma's going to be just getting to the playoffs again, getting their feet wet. Vitality, the question is how hard
will this journey be? Tomar agua. Y cómo me caga de verdad que las tapas de las botellas de agua no se desprendan completamente por el seguro que tienen ahí, por el sello que le ponen. De verdad, eso debería ser un tema de diseño que la gente debería corregir. Hay algunas botellas que están purísimas y no se pueden despegar bien de allí.
It's a new one.
Everyone's saying it.
It'll catch on.
He's a trendsetter.
It's really going to catch on.
Everyone's going to start getting
porque está
and saying GHHF.
Está haciendo pick. Esto es como pick en donde probablemente va a estar. Es que realmente si uno lo piensa, hay chance de que cuando tú vas a hacer el pick, él esté a mitad de camino o esté a punto de salir y tú realmente no estás apuntando al lugar correcto. Y vas a estar en desventaja si te moverte de izquierda a la derecha.
Once contact's taken, and then Apex hopefully profits.
Yeah, hopes he gets a couple of backs turned.
Sun's smoke.
Down, Apex swings. He's got nothing. The setup
Será, se borra el mensaje.
G2 running into the stats side. He only had a bullet left. Nails one. Still not enough. Insufficient.
No sé qué significa half file blue cliff. Mientras ve el directo. No sé qué carajo es eso. Pero vale, no te preocupes.
Double swing?
Double swing. Sunpias ready for this one. Mattis to provide some support.
¡Venga! ¡Venga! No, literalmente.
Gave him a couple of chances, but
las balas venían de todas las direcciones.
That's both pistols. Yeah. Surely this is the recipe right now to take down Vitality to kick off the campaign.
Big smile on the coach.
They're going to be a force. I don't know what Vitality are going to do here.
They did it once.
Increíble. Ya reorganicé mi setup ayer y ahora tengo un monitor más cerca de mi cara y podría usar para jugar. O sea que es como contraproducente porque tengo el más grande de la mitad, que es el principal, y el pequeño lo tendría más cerca a la cara y sería más fácil más cómodo para mí de mirar y tenerlo cerca, así como lo hacen ellos de forma competitiva.
Playing behind the fade, risky from Apex, but nothing given. Looking on the map, control baskets with the support of Sampaius.
Oh, ok, vale. ¿Me suena de algo?
Apex has another smoke. We're sub 1 minute now.
Conozco Half-Life.
Well, they still have one on A and B.
Conozco algo blue de Half-Life que alguien más hizo.
Can avoid going through gray screens.
Sí. Que aparentemente alguien más hizo, pero que aparentemente es una buena secuela de la segunda, del segundo juego de la segunda parte, algo así. Por ahí tenía un video, no sé si al final lo descarté para ver, pero que sí hablaba de eso. Era un video larguísimo, y de forma informativa me gustaría ver el video, pero no completo, porque literalmente te contaba creo que toda la historia.
They've done this a few times, G2. They really don't want Vitality to feel comfortable in their stacks of their positions, right? They've done, you go back again, Mirage, a few fakes.
Tengo que aprender a leer los mapas. Siento muy incómodo viendo los mapas. Es decir, el mapa de arriba a la izquierda muestra las rutas.
Starting to spring to action already was Heavy got on the MP7 and darting over towards CT spawn as the other two of them.
I mean, it's such a gift as well when you got someone like Mattis who can just be lurking B and get you one.
It is such a fragile approach though, because if the fake gets nothing,
cómo organizan toda la
then
interfaz.
Vitality is still in
No sé si en este punto han modificado algo, pero sí me suena haber visto algo así.
At least with a couple of numbers, sure, you don't have the weapons required, but
what the fuck, que son esas cámaras enormes.
Keeping Vitality's comms flowing, keeping them guessing. Is that going to be the way in?
It's certainly going to be one hell of a feather to Hunter's cap if he can convert.
Espera, esas cámaras específicamente cuáles son? Las que muestran en directo este.
Done it once in London.
Oye, y
best of 5 final.
Valve no da ninguna recompensa aquí.
It's a new year. Could it be the same story?
This one might be more direct now, less fakey. Still some threats to deal with.
No, no era recompensa de ese juego. Oh, ni siquiera.
And that galore in the mix aside would find himself in the right place.
Skins con stickers de la
be execute.
Okay.
del torneo.
He's going to be flashed off. Apex, spammed and rather forced forward by the flame.
No, ahí no hay nada de mucho más. Uy, allí sí, tienes todos. Bro, ¿cómo no lo viste? ¿Dónde estaba apuntando el de Vitality? Ah, no, Vitality ahorita es contraterrorista. Entonces sí lo veo.
Look at Roxas. Look at this position right now. There is no way back.
Oh, you're right.
There is no way back. After they lost the initial exchange right there, they hung around for way too long. They get the Apex kill. Hunter goes down coming connector.
Yeah.
At that point, they didn't call it off. So now they're essentially
no tiene mucho para cubrirse, pero es que ya ellos son tan buenos que muchas veces te matan de un tiro a la cabeza. Además, he jugado con gente que literalmente en competitivo, espero que no haya hackers, me mataban de un tiro a la cabeza. El pick advantage.
Flamesy will finish off the job. You can see how excited Apex is to see that one converted.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, that is a bit of a dialogue shift.
Also shows you that this isn't just a game where they're coming in thinking
no tengo una imagen muy clara de la mujer, pero sí me suena. Por ejemplo, yo llegué a jugar Half-Life 1, creo que en 2 ocasiones, pero jamás lo llegué a terminar. Incluso llegué a jugar algo multijugador con mis amigos. Pero mi amigo Angelo le encanta Half-Life. Bueno, hay mucha gente que realmente le encanta la historia del juego. Me encanta la estética. La historia aún no la sé. Porque si lo juego, es algo que tendrá pendiente y estaría fresco. Increíble. ¿Solo 4-4? Es que ya habíamos... Detienen.
happy to have that AK in his hands and able to do his best work here on the CT side.
Exchange of smokes there in the middle, so right now
hay algunos de
this
ellos que tienen
M4,
utilidad
the AK
todavía.
and the Deagle for the finish into a B split.
So
on the side.
El tema de las utilidades, no sé si hay un límite. Por ejemplo, no sé, 3
alongside and Flames rotating over. They're ahead of this.
3 máximo independientemente de cuál hayas comprado.
Well, this one bottoms out the bank
No, bro. No se lo puedo bajar. Under terrorist wing.
All right, well, not only have you got Apex firing, some great impact in that first half, you're getting Zywoo and Flamesy joining now.
I think that's why you saw Apex kind of G'ing up the boys, especially those names. He name drops, says thank you for, joining me at the top of the tables. Can't do it on his own, despite doing so in that first half. I mean, what an audacious push. He's got there so quickly. He must have immediately just started investigating B main.
It's one of these things, right, where people assume the audacity on the B main push, right? Teams nade it, they molly it. Seems very unlikely that someone's just going to waltz on through, but we saw Mattis do it in the first half, and Flash and B-Pop right here with the ease. Apex here to mop it up alongside of Mezzy.
Who's going to get that third? It's Apex. All right. Makes sense. Getting close to that 20 frag haul.
We'll see now with the AK in hand if Mabs is able to keep up that form we saw from maps 1 and 2. Here's the round timeline to show you how it's all gone down.
Oh, the bookies have really lost faith in G2 here.
No puede ser muy difícil, ¿cierto? Tener todos los logros en Half-Life. No sé cuántos tendrá, pero supongo que no será muy difícil.
Sure, you lose against the force second round first half, but this one, you let him take an AK, a Galil into the next on Zywoo.
You don't think it's going to have that much of a ramification. But, our first look at Vitality's Anubis since the changes.
This is something else that's quite key. There are only a handful of events remaining before we get the cutoff April 6th, and that's going to be determining who's going to be playing the major and where, right? You want to be in stage 3 if you're some of these bigger names, but you might have to settle for stage 2 or stage 1. Now, I think we know Vitality are going to be locked and loaded, but after this, you've got EPO and then you got Rotterdam. Now, Vitality, they will not be at EPO, and I don't think G2 made the cutoff for Rotterdam either. So some important results. This would have been a big scalp to take if you were G2 as far as VRS is concerned. Right now you have a rifle round without all the bells and whistles and a big nade on the head. Sampai's brought right down.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Double HE though, so numbers on A counted.
It's just Mezzy on B, 1 mid, 3A. Messi trying to look as big as possible.
Going through this? No, just playing the fade. Flamesy and Robs fancy their chances in his head-to-head. God's on the angle. Oh, just looks away. Oh, Flamesy just one back straight to finish the job. The nades from Robs had started. But a flash looks good.
Uf, loco. ¿Cómo falló eso? Vi que disparó, obviamente pasó el arma hacia abajo para hacer el control. Pero oye, ni una bendita bala le dio. Además, le disparó varias veces, esa no fue un disparo, un solo tap, un solo clic. Eso, si no pasa, si no es un disparo de un clic, hay chance de que te maten siempre. Siempre. Yo no sé cómo la gente con la que juego en Counter-Strike me hace eso constantemente. Creo que a esta gente pues, le cuesta más. Ese fue disparar a la cabeza, sí. Ahora que no entiendo la bomba, hay una cosa que te permitía seleccionar la bomba dentro del juego. hay tantos parámetros que ahora se pueden modificar. Me encanta que hayan ponido un sobre que te permita conservar los stickers sin que tengas que utilizar en otra cosa. Porque, por ejemplo, te puedes comprar un sticker bastante costoso, ponerlo en esa cosita y lo usas como colgante. Y cambio, si lo ponías en el arma lo perdías. Ahora con eso lo conservas. Porque bueno, el contenedor es económico de comprar, pero es otra vaina que metió Valve para ganar más dinero. Y es impresionante. Es útil porque ayuda a no perder dinero a otros jugadores, pero también ganas dinero al meter esa función.
Undeterred by the previous nade damage, Sampires goes straight back to containing a main.
And they don't want anything to do with the hole. They're not, peeking. They're not trying to take the fight. They're not pushing anybody out. They're just playing it as if it's
hay gente que tiene stickers ahí. La verdad, lo de ponerme stickers en las armas no me ha gustado. De que hay algunas cosas curiosas que se pueden hacer con los stickers dándolos. Armas. Pero creo que no me convence. Prefiero los stickers como un colgante. Y eso me dio una idea ayer de decir, ok, si me gusta muchísimo un sticker y no lo quiero pegar en alguna superficie o simplemente no tengo un lugar donde pegarlo, me compraría algo como eso. Para conservar el sticker, ponerlo y usarlo como colgante para mostrarlo. Y entonces, ¿ves? Es difícil pasártelo porque te tomó tanto tiempo. Te ha tomado tanto tiempo, pero todavía está pendiente.
Not gonna be easy. Zyro peeking in.
¡Uy!
Perfect moment, but hasn't hit the shot onto Hunter.
No. No viene, no. Viene. No, a la derecha. ¡Oh! ¡Lo mató el otro! No. Yo estaba preocupado. Yo dije, no, sale. Va a tener dos enfrente. Pero le dio tiempo para eliminar el de la izquierda. Era su objetivo y luego el de la derecha. Bueno, quizá el de la derecha fue otro jugador. Le da tiempo de desactivar. Dije, mira, 2 contra 1. No. Bueno, ahora sí.
Still cumbersome though, wasn't it, right there? Those kills coming at one at a time. Flamesy goes down, and Rob swings out. He's disconnected from his teammates, not waiting for that rotation to come through.
I love the stubborn mid fight.
Oh, yeah, well, he knows Messi's coming through, so he's not leaving his boy hanging.
Yeah. I mean, but with the AWP, it's such an easy excuse.
Yeah.
No, es verdad. He visto un video de una persona que era de contenido en inglés que le había hecho, se había encontrado un jugador profesional de Counter-Strike dentro del juego, en una partida casual, una partida competitiva, y él comentaba que supongo que no era un top player, jugador los mejores, pero que ser un pro le permitía pues tener los ingresos que necesitaba para vivir y no sé qué más. Porque realmente cuando eres un pro player, cuando eres bueno en algo, tienes siempre una forma de monetizar las cosas, que es creando contenido, siendo un expositor para marcas para que tú vendas sus productos, y la profesión en sí de ejercer como profesional, por ejemplo, de jugador profesional de Counter-Strike. Entonces eso, más creación de contenido, más sponsors, es muy potente, porque puedes generar mucho más dinero que, bueno, realmente podrías estar generando solamente por estar jugando. Realmente es como, ok, gracias a que estás jugando, generas tu sueldo base, luego con eso creas una comunidad que te apoya, puedes crear otro ingreso con eso. De verdad pensé que se había bajado 2. No, digo 3.
So Vitality looking to bounce back from the Inferno loss, showing they can play new Anubis without any new flavor.
Without acting like it's new Anubis.
Wow, Flames' finally taking a look.
Here we go. The mid walk, this absence of the
Ok,
window.
realmente hay algunas veces que los flashbacks son productivos y otras veces no, sinceramente. Uf, eso fue bueno, eso estuvo muy clean. Eso estuvo muy clean, carajo. Bueno, el otro. Su amigo le ayudó. Teammate, el otro fue eliminado. Ya no hace falta eso. Solo con la pistola. Solo con la pistola. No, está loco. Está loco. ¿Por qué no cambió de arma? Ah, no, este es del equipo terrorista. Es fuerte eso. Pero me parece que incluso no estaba haciendo un buen pre. La forma de hacerlo era mirar el mapa o conocer ya el mapa y decir, bueno, pueden estar en estos puntos, puede estar en una zona intermedia, pero si están en estos puntos, los eliminas.
Wasn't the harshest punish the Death thought it could have been of overpass, and they end up losing 13-8. But here on Anubis, they've styled on Richard and the boys.
Y trajo Coca-Cola para mí, y me también. Pues te había preguntado, ve, ¿por qué te has tardado tanto en completar todos los logros? No debería ser tan difícil, ¿no? No debería tener tantos.
What a nightmare series in that regard.
I think you definitely see the two faces of G2, right? Like when they play a mostly clean game, like they did on Inferno, it can look pretty good, but when it's messy, when they make some basic mistakes, when they fumble some of these anti-eco rounds or rounds against low buys, I mean, then it can get pretty grim pretty fast.
Yeah, that's the notion as well, and I think you're right. You know, it's kind of like a missed opportunity. I think Anubis, yes, as per the scoreboard and you know, the beginning of second half as well, you'd argue that it was a game, but you could see a Vitality take control of the game. You could see them walk away with a rather comfortable win here in the third deciding map. If anything, I think G2 is sad about what happened on Mirage. You know, there was a couple of moments in that game where they probably should have clinched it out. They should have won that map. They should have gone for the 2-0, and I think that's something Vitality realizes as well. That we got
también está tomando Coca-Cola igual que tú.
That one, and then they got exactly what they wanted on Anubis. You know, they played a good map of Counter-Strike.
What's going on? Where are the handshakes? Where are the high five? Are they like on different sides of the building?
Otro muchacho porque esta parte y no.
I mean, they're as confused as we are. So
muchacho porque tiene una pinza en la cabeza.
Look, on this point, while we've got them on camera, I mean, this is the mark of a champion, you know, with Vitality. They've turned up today, not played particularly well. I would argue not vetoed in an optimal fashion.
Is the game not over?
Yeah, I was like, are they replaying around? Like everyone's still sort of half locked in. No, but I think. I might even message Apex about it just to ask him, like, did you try like to practice maps? I wouldn't say it's not optimal. Like they obviously did it for a reason, the way they did, and also, I mean, you need to be honest that Vitality, off of the back of 2 tournaments and a tournament win, you know, they're not going to be at 100% focus for the opening game of the Swiss stage, even though it's against G2, right? So for them to get the win is definitely a great sign, right? Also, one more time. Getting it done on Anubis.
Yeah, and look, I think as well, my problem that I just have with G2 is I've seen them do this a lot now, where they're in series and people pop off. Like Miles, he should be on the winning team today, realistically. You know what I mean? He should be saying, right,
el mapa y los recorridos sean más largos, pero la manera de conseguir los logros iguales.
And I've seen this
más largo.
time and time again with G2. They just
¿A qué te
they
refieres
get
con
close
eso?
and then 1 or 2 mistakes in key rounds, and it's just all over.
It may sound harsh, you know, but when I look at the lineup and when I look at the material they have to work with, you know,
expansión del mapa.
In the spot where
Aunque pues cambia el tamaño, pero
I don't think
nada de la
G2
historia
is a team that I have, you know, in my top 5, you know, considerations in terms of what they got to work with. Yeah, there's some talented players in there, but you have Hunter being a relatively new in-game leader. You have a guy like Melps who has been struggling as of late. You know, great game today as well. Mattis, how good is he really? You know, is he the real deal? Or is he good enough to be part of a stable top 5? There's a lot of question marks in regards to G2. So
I've got an update for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually looking at something. They think there might have been a game crash in that last round. So
that's
to the admin.
Yeah, they're trying to
That's
figure
why
it out.
no one canned yet. So for everyone at home,
because everyone's all smiles, you know, like there's no reason they wouldn't shake hands. There wasn't anything fishy happening in the game. But yeah, okay, we'll wait and see. I wouldn't be... Apex is screaming something over there like, oh, there's no hope. Let's replay it. We'll beat you again. He's just such a character.
Yeah, exactly. He's not sweating.
But yeah, I think for G2, it's important that we have the facts.
What's he saying?
If we replay the round, you do the same people. I don't give a fuck.
He's box office, isn't he? You gotta love him.
But I was going to say about G2, right, that we remember G2 is a team that lost almost exclusively to top 5 teams, right? Like to teams that are above them, to contender status teams. And now, obviously, eventually, if you want to get into that conversation, you're going to have to start beating those teams. That's why I think Krakow was a step in the right direction for them. It's clear that at this moment, they don't necessarily have...
Me refiero a que el mod modifica el mapa añadiendo más escenarios nuevos,
It's always a good idea
enemigos.
to stop talking.
Yeah, I know. If Dan's
No sabía que
about to
tuviera
go,
eso.
yeah,
Para la
he's gonna
comunidad
go.
que tiene Half-Life,
Yeah, see,
ha hecho muchas cosas.
Look at the game.
Ya el juego ya es viejo, pero con los años sí se han hecho
He
muchas
probably
cosas.
doesn't even know he's on camera. Oh, probably does, or maybe he doesn't care. But look, obviously this is a situation where if there was a crash and it's within the rules, I wouldn't blame G2 for taking a run back. Yeah, like, why not?
Surrender.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why would you? Oh, just its vitality we lost, even though a guy crashed like at the start of the round. No, of course you should replay it.
Yeah,
of course you should push for it. No doubt about it.
Even if Big Daddy Apex is gonna come over there with his guns. So, but anyway, sorry, Yanko.
No, I mean, that was just the point. Like G2, their next step is to figure out the way. How do we? Let's not even put vitality in the conversation. Let's put Mouse, Falcons, Furia, right? Like some of these other teams, Spirit, which they played a couple of them in Krakow and couldn't get the wins. So that's like the next step for them. Beating some of those teams, getting to playoffs consistently. I think it would be a huge disappointment if they don't make the playoffs here in Cluj. I think that's a minimum for them. I'm fairly certain they would agree with that sentiment, and then you get a
Oye,
bigger
no entiendo por qué los jugadores de
now in
Counter-Strike
that
parecen que son los
setting,
más acabados de la
where are we
historia.
at? Are some players missing?
Profesionales.
What's lacking, and do we need to upgrade more?
Los de LOL, todos asiáticos, supongo que bien vestidos, con su piel intacta, tratando de lucir de la mejor manera. Los de Fortnite también. Pero los de Counter-Strike parecen que han visto la
I'd
guerra.
say by summer, I think he's had enough time to like sort of create his identity, but I think he's doing a good job, already. I think he's not necessarily a finished product, and I think in terms of being an in-game leader, I don't think anyone really is a finished product. Yeah, you can say Apex and Kerrigan obviously have their ways of doing it, but it's a game that is over time constantly changing. So in that regard, technically never. I will say though that I think Hunter's doing a good job. I don't think he's the issue. I don't think you can put much of the blame on him. Is there certain things he can get better at? Is there certain experiences that he would benefit from? Going into the playoff more often? Sure. I think when you look at the player material he has to work with, he's also limited in how much he can get out of it.
I think after this season, Hunter himself and
hablan de la
will know enough about, is this the solution long term for us, right? Or should we maybe do a 180 like Chris did with Liquid, like Device did with Astralis, and
se está planteando si hay una solución para algún problema,
sort of just playing secondary caller sort of a role, and it was better off. I believe that he has the chops to be a good IGL, just also his temperament, his personality, right? The sort of a guy he is. And we'll see about the on-server performance in a way.
I'd even say his stock value as well. If you're a great in-game leader nowadays, like you can
Lo
join
más
some of the
creepy
best
del
teams in
mod
the world.
es
You
que
can be relevant at the
hay un
highest
enemigo
degree.
llamado
No
Teddy.
offense against Hunter, but
No te
as
dejes
an
engañar por su
individual player,
nombre.
he was starting to drop off a little bit from his peak. So
wasn't that because he
Era
was
un
doing
buen
more
enemigo
and more
también.
though? Because I felt like every time I clicked on HLTV,
Pues debo decirte que Teddy, bueno, recuerda a Freddy, eso lo primero, así que tampoco me da confianza.
As that's happening, yeah, his stats went down.
yeah, that's true. That could be part of the reason. That could be part of the case as well. I also do think Hunter, as a player, obviously has been around for such a long time and has family commitments. You name it. You see a kind of decrease in individual output from time to time. So in terms of, I guess, managing your own career, if you can make it work as an in-game leader, that would be great.
Además, ya me estás diciendo que es un enemigo.
So hang on, we're getting no, listen, we're getting it.
Loco, ¿qué piensa el juego? No estoy entendiendo nada de lo que me están diciendo. No sigo la conversación.
They're still reviewing this moment.
¿Qué significa? ¿Qué? ¿Estaban decidiendo si una jugada fue legal o qué?
Must be leg day or something.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
No. Quiero ver qué jugador. A ver, el muchacho ahí que está en fondo no está usando el mouse, no. Este gordito del medio sí. Ese de ahí que están enfocando, creo que no lo he visto. No lo veo, no veo los mouses.
Maybe they're expecting them to go over to them now, a bit contentious.
No los veo. Pero al menos uno ya sé que de este lugar. No, el otro no está usando un mouse. El último que sacó Logitech.
And the team needs it. You just also are thinking long term. Usually the in-game leaders are a bit more sacrificial.
No, sí, no lo están usando. Pero creo que todos en teoría podrían estar usando Logitech, porque vi que algunos de estos, bueno, de hecho, todos estos rojos tienen patrocinio con Logitech. Pero solo uno de ellos tiene el mouse con el nuevo dispositivo.
He's showing him that it's just, look, I'm not making it up. I'm not bullshitting you. We're not trying to F you.
Yeah, I just feel like you have to play a lot of default, because for you to be right from freeze time with these reads, often enough to win at tournaments on a consistent basis, it's really hard. That's why, like, even Ents wasn't able to do it. It's not a fair comparison because G2 has better players, but still, and obviously these are some topics for a bit more in the future for them, but we'll have to wait and see.
And wow. We can talk about it.
Pero no me di cuenta, ¿sí lo eliminó cuando disparó aquí?
How did we feel about how it went for both of these teams, given it is a relatively new edition?
I mean, it was a competitive game, as you can see by the scoreline as well, but I think Vitality took matters into their own hands on the CT side, won a couple of key rounds and then ran away.
Uy, le dio, en serio, headshot.
A couple of rounds going the way of G2, maybe the conversation would have been differently, but you could also see, I feel like, from the body language of Apex, when they won the first buy round on the CT side, he was celebrating that as if they won the game almost, so he knew that was the moment in the game where they had to check in. As Yanko, you said it during map 1 on Mirage, that's the beautiful thing about Vitality. They can win in every possible fashion.
Vale, tengo la impresión de que cuando un jugador tiene casco y pechera, creo que el disparo de una AK en la cabeza no lo elimina por completo. O de la M4 no lo elimina por completo y sin necesitarlo disparo adicional.
Who knows, but maybe. I didn't feel he was not doing anything, but if Apex is ripping off heads, you don't have much to do you? I was just going to say, I mean, there's probably some younger viewers that don't remember Apex the player. They only really know Apex the IGL. But, I mean, he was a phenom in his particular role. A pioneering entry fragger, I mean, just unplayable on his day. And his longevity is amazing, because I am going to say it right now. As an IGL, still one of the better fraggers out there, for real.
I've said it once and I'll heavily say it again. I think Apex is the greatest transition there's ever been in Counter-Strike. To go from being what I back then described as a potato of a player, running around, never thinking about anything.
Come on.
Always. No, but
entry frag is the hardest role. You call it the potatoes. What role did you play?
¿Hay roles en este juego? ¿Qué hay roles? Aparte de defender y atacar.
Yeah, why don't you go tell him that now while he's all pumped up?
We had the conversation before, and that's where I want to compliment him. For him to make that transition, for him to mature as a player over all these years. I grew up with him. I played with him. I played against him. I played on team with him even. Back with Overdrive in the days, and he was always overextending. He was making a lot of mistakes, and he's just every year matured, gotten better, thought about how he could be more impactful, and then transitioned into becoming, as you said, maybe the greatest in-game leader that we have to offer right now. To make that transition, I can't think of any player who's done more in terms of making a
wild transition from one role to another,
where it wasn't really written in the stars, to be honest.
Just a
Suena que no corresponde esa arma.
Obviously, we know the pantheon of great IGLs, right? We talk about Glaive, we talk about Karrigan, we talk about Fallen, Pronax as well. I always think he is forgotten about, sadly.
¿Hay más?
I love the Fnatic team, whatever.
Ok, hay 26,000 espectadores. Antes, cuando empezaba, estaba en 30. Entonces iba a haber una segunda ronda.
The greatest potato of all
Por ejemplo,
time.
aquí dice Furia versus B8 Sports. ¿Les parece que sí va a haber otro enfrentamiento de otro equipo?
I think once he retires, he will be the greatest at that point in time. I don't think it will be a debate or a discussion at that point in time. I think we'll see,
¿Qué cosa? Va a estar
down the
bien
line what's going on. It's the good old, like, well, yeah, but he's had Zaibu for the entirety of his IGL career. But all the greats will have something, Tom Brady had Bill Belichick.
Guardiola,
all of that stuff. So we'll see, but it's hard to see him stopping anytime soon with a team like this.
He seems hungry, that's the thing. He seems like he's the most hungry player with Vitality.
That's the thing. He has enough motivation for all of the, like, Zaibu is so dejected as a, like he just shows up in games. But Dan is like instilling in him all the chips on his shoulder from back in the day, right? So he's making him care by proxy, and that's really important when a team is so successful.
Si literalmente este es el inicio.
Yeah. Do you want to take a look
Hay
at
video
that
por
round?
días.
I do, just because it's like
Hay contenido todos los días hasta el 18.
Luego
hasta el 18
they showcase this multiple gun rounds, right? Like
son
Hunter jumping through the window,
calificatorias,
flashes coming from behind. Look
¿No son
where he's
ganadores
finding
estos?
Robs. I mean, if Robs did indeed have that miserable game, Hunter is a good reason for it. And in this case,
Aquí
after
está
that,
Fanatics.
G2 still re-aggresses mid.
Me dice la información, ¿no? No es el Face Clan.
Vitality in that area of the map, and in the end are able to mop up. So this is like a set round from G2.
No, este es Natu.
Going down the window. The B players are both in connector, like they're aggressing through that side of the map, and they're completely sort of trying to shut that down. There was even a player down around T stairs that got blinded, that jumped into the smoke. Hunter sees him and he just books it to find Robs. Like, he doesn't even care about him. And that's the second time he kills Robs from that aggressive play. He wasn't having a good day today.
A final thought from you, Jacob?
Good game of Counter-Strike, in
an epic.
It started a bit rough, and Mirage was ugly. I think Inferno was quality from G2, played at a high level. I think Anubis was quality for Vitality, so they made up for it. And overall, kind of as we expected. A Vitality that is not in the full strength in group stage as we usually see on a G2, that can punch above their weight from time to time. But as Janko described it, having a tough time beating the best of the world.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. A quick break.
Thank you, gentlemen.
How can this series even top that one? We'll see. But it is going to be Furia versus Bait. Make sure you join us.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
It's bad.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Espera, ahí conocí a una persona, Me da la impresión de que ahí había un creador de contenido llamado Stacks. 610 Hz.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture
Porque no
for
la había
12 hours a
metido,
day.
pero ¿y eso que estaba? ¿Cómo la gente se enteró de eso?
It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
Es cierto que algunas compañías, no sé por qué será, simplemente dejan recursos de el juego que iban a utilizar, recursos que iban a añadir en el juego, pero que al final no quedan jugables, como contenido jugable, pero sí quedan archivados. Bracknet, Build Games.
Astana, are you ready? Counter-Strike!
Yes, welcome back to PGL Cluj-Napoca. Last series of the day. As I said before break, it's going to have to work very hard to beat the one we just watched, but anything is possible. Furia versus Bait. Let's start by talking about Furia. For me, they were the other guys of 2025. Had a great time of it down the back nine, so to speak, of the year. And for me, it did something that hadn't happened for a while. It made me start thinking about where Fallen is in the all-time great rankings again, because probably been a little bit quiet, but his longevity is insane. And to be winning trophies in 2025 after everything he's accomplished, just what a cool story that he's been able to activate this group of players.
I mean, speaking of transitions, not only is he doing it as an in-game leader, but he transitioned from an AWP player into a rifler. I think to me that was the biggest surprise.
Yep.
Obviously, you know him better than I do, Yanko, in terms of his leadership qualities and what he offers on the server, how calm, how composed he is. His work ethic seems to be great as well. But for me, from an outside perspective, going from being an AWP player for 12, 15 years, transitioning into a rifler in arguably the most competitive era of CS2 rifling, and still remain somewhat relevant. You know,
limpiar así tu mousepad debe ser
I did not see
tremendo.
that coming. I think that's very impressive.
Con la bendita mano.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of failed ones in that one.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. He's still doing work on the rifle, Fallen is, but I think it just shows what he's capable
Vale, por ahí vi una persona, no sé si es
his philosophy for Counter-Strike
actual
wasn't wrong at any point in time, and if
desde ellos, pero vi que alguien sí tiene uno de los mouse recientes de Logitech. Solamente estoy interesado en eso, el bendito mouse. Quiero ver qué carajo están usando ellos y cómo están haciendo sus jugadas en el juego.
I remember the announcement of when Molodoi was joining the team, and it was Fallen to give up the AWP
ahorita iba a decir algo
to
feo.
young Kazakhstani, rookie, and I just went, they've given up.
Porque iba a comparar el aspecto de los jugadores de diferentes juegos competitivos. Pero, por ejemplo, estos sí se ven más jóvenes que la mayoría del equipo anterior, que era Fanatics y no me acuerdo. Pero en Fortnite hay un montón de muchachos jóvenes. Un montón.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were there in Astana where, I mean, it must have been like, Christmas Day for him, like local crowd chanting your name, had a decent run, big performances. It's tough up there on the stage, especially for young players, and he struggled a little bit with that.
El medio tiene build de un grado.
Toughen up for those big tournaments.
Yeah, for sure, man. He gets to go back to Astana, hopefully, and relive that whole experience, as one of the favorites as well later on in the season. For now, though, they have to get past Bait. I think in that regard, we're looking at a matchup that is very unfairly matched. We're talking about Furia, who I think to many is currently the next best to Vitality, and Bait, while they have been making waves, at certain points in the season, while they've been doing a good job at qualifying for the majors, etc., I think they've lost 5 out of the last 6 games they played. They lose to teams that you'd think on paper that they should be able to beat if they want to continue to progress. So I got to be careful with what I say about Bait, not to be labeled
muchos juegos, muchas jugadas, muchas rondas, no sé cuál de todas. Los de B8 se ven jóvenes.
I kind of have to, because I think they've shown they can be a
últimos 3 meses, no sé qué significa ese puntaje que está abajo a la derecha de las cartas de presentación. Alex 666. Esos nombres de verdad.
Yeah, right. It's like we're not benched, but we are trying out.
A ver. No, ok, veo que el primero. No sé si tiene ese mouse. El primero al fondo. El segundo al fondo no tiene el nuevo mouse. El tercero no lo tiene. El cuarto quizá.
Get to stick around, and they got Seko Kaba for Krakow. He was abhorrent. Now they're getting
uno
CZN
aparentemente lo
right
tenía.
from
Uy,
we'll see
está
how
genial, de verdad.
that
Hay muchas cosas que yo podría hacer con la edición de video y podría quedar de ese estilo, pero no lo hago todavía.
And as we see the maps rolling, this is where it gets even worse from Bait if you didn't paint
solamente me toque
now, because Ancient is their best
en
and
hacer
most played map. That
benditos
Furious
videos
permaban. They'll have
de
to take it
reviews.
somewhere else, and a Mirage pick, I would
Luego La segunda saga de videos, ahí puedo poner un poco más creativo. La tercera fase, lo pongo más creativo. Le dedico más tiempo a hacer más efectos o otras cosas creativas. Increíble, mira eso. Pero claro, esto es rarito, no sé si esos son assets del mapa anterior. Y la versión anterior de Counter-Strike.
Not only for bait and the structure of the lineup, but also for Furia. So in terms of winning the veto or going anywhere, surprising, not really going to happen here. Inferno coming in for Furia, not too big of a surprise. No risking Anubis, no gambling whatsoever in that regard. No nuke. We get a pretty decent map pool.
Okay, estos son assets 3D. Quizá las imágenes no del fondo, quizá no. Pero ese carro era 3D.
Have trouble on multiple maps.
Is that footage from before, or is Vitality still in their seats? They didn't get the memo yet.
Yeah, but we've seen Bait struggle on like multiple maps really, and we've seen them pick maps and like really have a bad time on it as well. And it kind of felt that the team was still evolving, still trying to find out what its strengths actually were.
But that's the puzzling thing for me.
Jugarán Mirage, Inferno y
Justos
clásicos.
The whole thing with
Me encanta Inferno.
Okay, considering what
creo que no se juega mucho normalmente los juegos. Los juegos competitivos. Pero Kyo, ¿qué es lo que más raro que has visto en la calle?
Care about the lineup as of right now.
It tells you where Bait is at the moment in this matchup, that the fact that they didn't even
dinero. Definitivamente dinero en la calle es lo más raro que he visto en la calle. Pero eso es lo que te puedo decir, lo más fácil. Ya ahorita pues no se me ocurre otra. Pensarlo de otra manera, a ver si me ocurre algo raro.
Thought about it like 0%, maybe you feel like you're just so far ahead of Bait where you don't need to go into that unknown territory, and you'd prefer Inferno where you've done your prep and you know the positions that they play and how they like to approach the map. But that was like a big
segundo
from Bait when it
no,
comes to
segundo.
So I've got some good news.
Un dildo.
Probably picked up on it. We got a bit of extra time. That's why Fury are doing some keepy up there. I'm expecting big things. The problem is
no sé cuándo. Ya no recuerdo cuándo, pero también había un dildo una vez en la calle. Una vez lo vi. No sé ni cuándo fue. Pero es más raro que he visto en la calle es dinero, un dildo y específicamente un dildo cerca de la puerta o entrada de una casa.
It was resurrecting Yukinda's career.
But here's the thing also, like it really feels like a match made in heaven to some extent. Right. Because if there's something that Fallen necessarily isn't, like he isn't mega assertive, and he definitely doesn't have an ego. Like he will listen to a good idea.
Pero sabes, ese último quizá lo vi en algún video, porque no tengo recuerdos de haberlo visto con otra persona. Pero sé que había otras personas involucradas ahí. Pero me da la impresión de que como no recuerdo a otras personas por ahí, las que suele estar, debió haber sido en algún video o en algún directo.
For someone to just let him roll with it, right? Like he obviously tried being primary IGL, didn't work. It's too much to do it all the time, but to do it like at certain times and be able to ride that momentum is definitely.
¿Sabes? Eso puede pasar, que a alguien se le caiga, como todo. Pues si te encuentras un celular en la calle, hay chance de que alguien lo haya dejado caer y no se ha dado cuenta. Igual que la bolsa de taquis. Alguien hizo su mercado y se cayó. Yo, por ejemplo, he visto caramelos. He visto, no recuerdo si era paquete de chicles, pero sí cosas relacionadas con comida que estaban en el suelo. Pero pues como son comida, pues, no me atrevo a recoger esas cosas. Por cierto, te lo llevaste el taquis.
quotation, my fault that we're not winning out. You know, for a single player that is not in the designated role as an there's very few players out there who would have the balls to do it. I can think of Nico maybe in the G2 days who would take over from Snacks, you know, and say the same thing.
I can think of another player who used to
put my boy's name out.
No, but didn't you used to be a little shit when you used to play with MSL? Apparently you were a nightmare for like just taking over calling.
Well, I saved us, you know, in that regard. I was trying to make us trying to help the team, Richard. But I think as an individual to have the confidence to do that, and also as you described, you know, to have the allowance to do that from the teammates, it was a great, you know, I guess picture of where Yekinda is in within Furia. He's fully integrated, he's fully trusted within the team, and maybe he was overstepping, I don't know, you know, and maybe sometimes you do overstep, but in order to find those lines, you gotta test it out, and for Yekinda to have the balls to do it, I applaud a lot.
That's another thing I like about Furia though, because as we've become a bit more, I guess, emotionally mature as a sport, a lot of the time teams have these
pero y eso que hace en la calle entonces.
These sessions.
You love those, don't you?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, tell, as a former coach, tell us about that, because
Pero es que verdad, una bolsa de algo que expiró hace 2 años. Pero las comienzos estaba recién hecho.
Chill, no dramas.
I think it's also team building in terms of, or for team formation, and how do you assemble the lineup and what personalities do you have on the roster, right? Like, it's important that you have people that can mesh well with each other. And I think, you know, if you look at Fury as a whole, there's no one there who, you know, gets super crazy, loud or anything, that's mega vocal, that's toxic in any way whatsoever. They mostly seem like laid back people who are able to be calm. You know, obviously Molodoi as the rookie and bit of a fiery persona, gets excited, especially when he's doing well. But outside of that, you can tell they're all laid back and they communicate in a calm manner in game, which is also a prerequisite, it feels like, for the style that they play, right? So I think they're a team that's fine with sort of just being honest about stuff, giving and receiving feedback and criticism, and that's not something you see very often in Tier 1 Counter-Strike.
So, Jacob, is there a key to victory here for Bait on Mirage? Obviously, we got the map in front of us.
Pero no entiendo qué es.
Everyone's playing. Is there a duel or a battle they can isolate, something like that?
I mean,
¿Ya han planificado qué van a hacer?
The easy answer would be, go test Fallen, you know, on the B-bomb side, but I think a lot of teams
Por
have
ejemplo,
tried that. It
Alex
doesn't really work out. I think
va a
Furia is very
cubrir
good at being flexible
la
with the
zona
CT side
de
setup
la
as well.
rampa.
I love the constant aggression that we see from Yuri from time to time as well. Furia, from what I've sensed when they play the CT side of Mirage, likes to take away a certain portion of the map, so the other team
El
can
otro
go into
muchacho
a
va a
default, you know,
cubrir
do an AXQ all the
el
time, do a
área
BXQ all the time.
de
They can't really do
los
something in order to disturb that, and
terroristas
in terms of for Bait,
con
what can you do?
sniper
You're a new team, you're integrating a new player. It would be
desde
disingenuous of me to
es
say
que no
that I
sé
know
cómo se
exactly
llama.
how they're going to
Es
approach
como
this,
la
because I
casa
think the truth
interior,
is that Bait doesn't
la
really know
zona
what they're going to do either.
de
So
los
in that regard,
terroristas.
you're playing Mirage, maybe pick up the
Y
pace a little
supongo que
bit, see if you
servirá
can
de,
rattle out
de
Furia.
soporte
One thing I will
con
say for
Alex,
Furia, though,
que está
that we've seen so
cubriendo,
far
que va a
this season,
cubrir
in all their games, even in
la
Krakow,
rampa.
at Blast as well, they allow their opponents to be competitive. You know, they lose maps to teams they shouldn't be
La cosa
losing to.
rara
You
que vi
saw
en la
it
calle
during
fue
Krakow.
cuando
In the
viajé
lower
a
bracket
mi
run, they
país
lost the map to
natal,
Australis, they lost the
Rumania,
map to other
encontré
teams
un
where you
billete de
shouldn't be
100
losing
lei.
here.
¿Cuánto dinero es en
At
dinero
Blast as well,
real?
they lost the map to
¿En
Heroic,
dólares?
playing with a stand-in, so it's not impossible for Bait to make a surprise, you know,
Entonces
come
tú
out
hablas,
with brute force and Counter-Strike and
¿qué
catch Furia
qué
off
otro
guard a
idioma
little bit,
hablas?
but there's a long way from winning one map in a
¿Rumaní?
series to let alone winning the
O
entire
rumaní
series. That's
es
what
el
the biggest
gentilicio
problem
para la
for Bait.
gente.
Yeah, but I think Furia was getting
Pero eso
better
fue
with each game, especially in Krakow, right?
Do that
like
quite
if you put the bounty game against Heroic in the semifinal against Spirit, you wouldn't think it's the same team.
Two different teams,
playing those games. So that's why I think the problem is for Bait coming
If
into this
team
particular
wins,
one, they will need to.
If
the way
team
Ian
loses,
is having a really strong CT side, like Furia has struggled a little bit on T side recently.
ambos
That's not
van
fair,
a,
seeing as how they went
bueno,
up against
entre,
Vitality in their last game, but
entre ellos, no sé cuál es la organización que tienen, pero van a jugar con quizás con el top 2.
Get some momentum, perhaps that's a way to steal a map.
Yeah.
Los de ¿qué era? De 8, no me acuerdo si era así. Van a luchar contra el top 2 de jugadores.
So, you know what I mean? I had to look him up. But what can you guys do?
$3.
Well, not too much to be completely honest. Relatively unknown for me as well. Also had to look up, you know, some of his games and his position, his weaponry, etc. I'm not going to be disingenuous as well. You know,
$3, $3 y 3 idiomas. 3, falta un segundo, falta un tercer 3. Oye, qué bueno.
To be honest, there's also a lot of academy teams out there who's not that exciting. So it's too early to tell whether or not he's going to be the real deal.
¿Ves contenido en los otros idiomas?
I don't really see them having an identity where I'm comfortable saying that that's going to be an easy team to slot into either. So I think in that regard, it's up to himself to showcase and put himself on the map for us to take an interest in him.
Glad to hear someone trusts Overdrive's scouting abilities in Pimp, but
Loco, esto está haciendo la menos interesante de todo. De verdad, Kobe fastidia estos tiempos muertos. Yo sé que los comentaristas están ahí para llenar el vacío, pero oye, yo solo he venido acá para ver cómo juegan, no para escuchar los comentaristas específicamente, porque ni siquiera estoy haciendo traducción al indirecto.
Just as they were sort of on the way up, started hitting a wall really, and they need to get some results and quickly because of the VRS implications.
Necesito organizar otra cosa en mis escritorios, pero todavía no va a poder hacer porque lo vas a salir. Así que ve, todavía no salgo, pero haré directo más tarde. Todavía de verdad no sé, ve, estoy viendo cómo hago contenido, porque tengo múltiples canales, ¿vale? Tengo este canal, tengo otro en donde hago contenido en inglés, pero no sé cuál de los dos quiero pasar más tiempo, porque el en inglés cuesta mucho tiempo, cuesta mucho pues comunicarme y la energía se me va muy rápido. Para ese canal tenía específicamente pensado hacer 1 hora, 1 hora y media, 2 horas máximo, en la que yo pudiera estar haciendo contenido y hablando con mucha energía. Inglés. Pero ayer y antes de ayer he estado haciendo directo por más horas en las que pues, me pongo a hacer de todo. Pues estaba haciendo trabajo, luego jugué, luego reaccioné, luego organizé algo de mi habitación y bueno, también había tiempo muerto porque había salido de la casa. Y no sé si debería hacer eso en el canal de España, porque de verdad está ayudando un poquito para mantenerme creando contenido y aparte pues quiero usarlo para... voy a hacer un stream súper largo. Mientras trabajo y no hay nada que hacer, pues me pongo a reaccionar a algo de fondo. Y ya luego no hay nada que hacer, me puedo poner a organizar el contenido. Al organizar el contenido puedo trabajar en los guiones para los videos que voy a hacer. Primera fase del canal, no este, sino el de inglés, porque y creo que eso me podría incentivar a hacer la edición de los videos en directo, porque es que ni siquiera lo hago para directo. Y a ver qué me respondiste. Romano lo aprendí pues porque es mi idioma natal, lo aprendí porque actualmente vivo en España, y ruso lo aprendí por mi propia cuenta porque tengo un amigo ruso. Tremendo, no me ha pasado eso de poder aprender otro idioma porque tengo otro amigo que hable otro idioma. Realmente no me ha pasado. ¿Tu amigo habla ruso? Es decir, ¿ustedes se conocieron porque empezaron a hablar ruso? ¿O cómo se comunicaron inicialmente? Uy, esa cobertura. ¡Uy! ¡Tan ventana! No. Lo reventaron ya. A los 3. No, a los 2. No. Bueno, debo decir que a mí me hubieran matado mucho más rápido si hubiera pasado eso. Y que no le culpo. Él duró bastante. Pero mira lo cerca que tiene el bendito escritorio. Lo tiene literalmente pegado al pecho. La bendita pantalla también.
I think what really impressed me about Molodoi is how quickly he found, his stage legs. Maybe saw a couple of wobbles when he first took to the bigger stages. Yeah, but he's very quickly going to find his game.
Esa granada fue específicamente para tapar la ventana. A mí se me olvidaba que eso se hace, pero no me acuerdo cómo. Porque sé que la forma más rápida, los que ellos, la persona que puede tapar eso más rápido son los contraterroristas. No los terroristas en sí.
Info play pushed,
Uy.
Fallen.
Easy.
¡Ah! No, y lo había visto antes y en serio le ganó. Uy. No, ahí está, lo vio. Lo tuvo que haber visto. Nah.
Okay, well,
Lo conocí por...
I think you'd say that's a kill that you should be having every day of the week, and then they should be able to start to piece that round back together. So they do fumble early, 2-1.
Emojis. Y ahora hablamos incluso del uno con el otro. Así me pasó una vez con una amiga. Bueno, era del colegio, no era específicamente de otro país, pero pues le terminaba enviando ¿qué? Mensajes durante las clases de programación. Y así fue como supongo terminé tener una amistad con ella allí, precisamente por eso. No recuerdo exactamente qué era lo que nos escribíamos, pero sí era así mensajes y empezamos a hablar desde ahí. Y quiero saber por qué pasó eso.
Back off through underpass if they want to mix this up. Looks like two of them will. That's going to leave Sizzy who has to park the bus in the middle. The pieces continue to move. Yuri taking ramp control. Middle being investigated. You've got Fallen short. You've got connector player. At least in this instance, where Molodoi can, and Caserado floating window. So nothing being fired back. Now rerouting. Caserado will be joining Fallen over towards B, and well, hey, I don't like the look of that. So they're worried about an awful lot right now.
Yeah, and that time is going to feel quite thin.
B just blocked. You feel like the hand is
forced
now into the finish, but it is just Yuri here.
Se está acercando. Uy, mira ese ángulo. ¿Cómo preparan esos ángulos? ¡Bum! Uy, ¿y esa granada que lanzó? Lanzó algo, ¿no? Uy, no fue muy suavizada esa. Parece que sobrevivió, fue el terrorista. No, no, y de paso se agachó, que inteligente, pero al final eliminar el otro me lo rebató. No, esta gente, ¿verdad? Uy, no, y ese tipo estaba planteando y le trabaron justo ahí.
Alright, well, aim definitely not looking on point for a young Buck team.
Maybe
with a couple of mares.
Yeah, maybe it's just a little bit of jitters getting into this over. Up against a team that was just in a final.
Ah, que pudieron organizar. Tengo muchas cosas de mí. Oye, a veces suena el mensaje y a veces no.
Manage the intensity, right? You can't come in and especially with how these last couple of rounds are going, yeah, okay, there's going to be walls in the pipe. You want to make sure that that focus stays.
Usually, I mean, this is just the trend I've felt.
También aprendí ruso porque adivina de dónde es tu novia. Bielorrusia.
You know, get out of bed for it.
De ahí, ¿verdad? Adiviné.
Especially when it's a week apart, right? That reset, it comes damn quick. Okay, Fallen's on his own right now. Rotation will be from short of Yakinda. He's currently on the top row. Ooh, if he lobbed that in, a sound cue, and then the rotation would be on the way. Nothing given, okay. No licks of the flame. Alex has a flash, a Cynthia with the saved AK.
Yakinda's full belt of you.
No me digas que en serio es de Bielorrusia. ¿Qué rayos?
Well, when you had full mid control, now you don't have to worry about it. So you're more worried on the sides. You have a retake set up right now with Yuri over to Ticket. So this is why you bolster down this B bomb side.
Just letting all those nades get thrown on out.
Such quick pathing in these last two gun rounds from them in middle. They're playing ahead of the smoke, looking for the fights and connector timings, and now it's very late.
Amigo ruso, novia rusa. Ah, espera. ¿Tu novia la conociste por tu amigo ruso?
Oh, jumping up. Oh, needed that. Yakinda's done well. That's the rifle gone.
Espera. ¿Tu novia es hermana de tu amigo ruso?
Well, Sizzy cannot bring out the AWP. So we're not going to see the weapon of choice in the kid's hands just yet.
That's a Haraj from Furia. That's how times have
doing
changed.
it in 3 languages.
Yeah, he's
doing it all.
Lovely chap is Sid.
Yeah, nice guy. It's good to have a conversation with. And the chat about this one is the gun round. Will only be
B8. Yo de 8 era lo que estaba diciendo antes.
No HGs to soften up.
No, no me hables así, no te lo carajo. Pero bueno, ya vuelo. Tengo traductor, pero no sé si va a funcionar aquí. Dice, de hecho, mi novia habla alemán también. Pero ¿tu novia también es alemana? Ah, bueno, antes de que el abuelo voy a ir a escuchar. Pero va a dejarlo esto de fondo.
And that's a perfect goodbye. Yukinda puts his head in the crosshair.
We boost in window. Well, got a double short setup. That's Yukinda going down the short player. So wanting to flash out vent.
Fallen actually just leaving to re-smoke Palace.
Yeah, but the problem is we're heading towards B with the bomb.
And Molodoi is the only person within earshot.
Okay, well, he is playing for the site right now.
Okay. A Molodoi multi on the menu.
Rotation miles away.
Short is arriving. Molodoi's position noted. He presents his back. He started to adapt and adjust into Alex, but their sight has fallen.
So they give this a look. I think it's probably better just to go for the save with how far the rotation is. There's a lot that you're going to have to get through, and it's the number disadvantage, and still early stages of this first half. So it looks like Furia will concede. Gamble away, costing them. Molodoi being surrounded, but on the bright side, we can see the AWP invested into the next. Sure, it's bottom of the barrel loss bonus, but he's going to have 5k. So I think this is where you see the glass cannon scenario come into the mix. Sometimes it comes easy. Yukinda overextends, he goes down. They group up, Fallen rotates away, they execute into Molodoi. Well, they didn't even execute into Molodoi. Ascencio jumps out, says, I'll find him. You just have to trade him. And that's exactly how that functions. So, handy work there from Bait. Good they got the coach with them. I think that he's had a couple of issues getting to some of these events.
Yes, right. As Dinko called him, Madaned. It's good to see Madaned back.
Madaned.
But yeah, no, I think that round, seeing Bait win a gun round in a convincing fashion, just the one casualty, certainly does demonstrate we could have a proper back and forth here on Mirage.
No Molodoi. He went against it.
Okay.
Normally just see him pull it out whenever he can, so he's just going to operate with the rifle.
Whoa, lots of nades spotted out mid. Caserata doesn't really take too much damage from that. Saved by the lip, as they want to try and sell that they're occupying heavy mid and quickly pivot.
Well, again, right, we'll talk about this a lot. The teams on the CT side keeping these pieces moving. And because of nameplate Counter-Strike, you've got Yukinda playing over towards A right now. And they're aggressive. Ooh. 2 players grouped up, Palace, Yuri and Yukinda.
So timing, I'm not sure it favors them, you know. Essential could probably have one here. Just perfect timing. No one ready. Yuri and Yukinda fall. Caserata hoping they respect his incendiary, and they will.
Yeah, good moment to reset and take poise right now.
Caserata's ready to fight. Made a little D, and the headshot's brilliant. Essential brings him down. Just falling on the CT, hoping he can catch the tail end of the assault, and he doesn't hit the shot. Alex does.
Okay, Molodoi over towards B already saving.
Well, they've just convincingly taken both the B and the A side in back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, so pistol and then the win against the Eco and then 2 rifle rounds. So good stuff as, oh, there you go. AK removed, MPL will find Molodoi. And this one feels good, right? After those 2 kills come in with Palace and then the Molly lands, you could have been disconnected. I think it was Essential who was first, could have just run out. It's good that they wait in that moment. All right, we're blocked. We have the U2, we have the advantage. Let's just chill, make sure we get the nades in, and then we'll have this second wave push through. So good poise there from Bait to give them a slight lead. As 1 round gap become 2. And that Furia's finances looking too great right here, right now. Now, Caserata holding on to a little bit more. Surely the AWP comes out to the next.
That's what he even refunded his deagle.
Yeah, has to come out into the next.
Refunded his deagle for a P250, just so he can make sure Molodoi gets the sniper rifle.
Just walking through motions right now, the default.
Clearing out any of those potential forward positions. Well, that's another way to get good AWP money.
It is, yeah.
The chances of NPL jumping out that window are 0.
And also, how long does Molodoi stay here for? Right, that's the question I want the answer to.
Well, Yakinda's death hasn't changed anything. He is still frozen in place.
Come on.
Anyone?
Come on.
Anyone?
Get the knife, go pick up the AK. Second guy comes flying through.
Oh, yeah.
Kill him midair. Ah. Come on. I know you're susceptible to short, but do it anyway.
Oh, he does jump out the window. Molodoi just left his post.
Hey, guys, could you have just held on to short so I can knife a guy, please?
You ruined his plan.
All 5 staying alive would be nice. His bomb goes down.
What a distinct lack of kills for Fury in these last 3 rounds. It's what, 1 kill in 3 rounds? So great for the T finances.
Yeah, this is Bait, who are going to be sitting pretty with a couple of gunnies. And 5 rounds already. This is nice. This is Bait working into things. I think it's interesting, right? This Mirage pick. They're on a 3-map losing streak on it themselves. Lost to Na'Vi back at the major, then to NRG and Pain in Krakow during the opening stage. But again, Hedrick out, Segikawa in, now Sizzy in, so a lot of moving and shaking in the Bait camp as far as the AWP is concerned. I don't want to say it's an easy piece. It's not an easy piece to find a good AWPer. It's hard to find a good AWPer in the modern game, but it's a piece whose role is very distinct. You know exactly what they're going to do within these rounds. Now, is he more of an aggressive AWPer? Does he want to get stuck in? Is he going to take some crazy moments, crazy risks? That's something that we're going to find out. Because the difference between playing in all those pugs I'm talking about, difference between playing Academy Counter-Strike and then playing against the big boys, you're going up against Furia, considered by most probably the world number 2 right now.
Hi-ho, hi-ho.
Still every time that's going to get you.
It's off to work we go.
Okay, so Molodoi does bring out the AWP.
Oh, he's got the new one.
A red number.
It's at the PGL Singapore Major theme. Oh! Easy opener. Lovely find. Alex going down to a Yakinda short swing.
So 2 in through the underpass. Sizzy will take the space of top mid. It's really right now on MPL and Kenzazor either forcing them back and finding some space or getting a kill.
Doesn't look like any kills are coming their way. So TopCon smoke. Where's that going? Oh, it's geeky. Lovely for the setup to set up Yuri. Gives him some freedom to reposition. And then a smoke break doesn't expose the connector player. The bomb is still in T-spawn. I think that's going to be, yeah, Sizzy's responsibility.
He's going back to grab that now, but Consmoke's faded. They're committed.
And that Palace smoke will be fading shortly. No, it won't. Replenished immediately. Freeze him up. Try and find a different, deeper line into connector, hoping for a little something out of Kenzazor and MPL, but they remain tucked. They've got all their pieces in the place they need them for the finish. Who moves first? Oh, it was a Senthiel caught on the fade. Molodoi perfectly positioned. Reveals his AWP's presence. Slinking out is Kenzazor. Molodoi anticipated something from the stairs position. Does get brought down by a combination of bullets and flame.
No, Yuri's here.
Yeah, you know he's here somewhere. And swinging on out. Sizzy adjusts.
Tough to plant.
Very tough. Yakinda at range removes one of the 2. And Sizzy looking the wrong way. Yakinda punishes. Impactful frags from Yakinda.
Yeah, once I see an AWP get across the default, it's such a strong line to hold connector.
For real.
You're going to have such a difficult time being able to breach through there. And the problem is they did have nades, but they were mainly on players who weren't in a position to throw them. Sizzy was the guy coming back. He just had the Molotov at ramp, and he actually used that to great success. Burnt out the default player after the fact. There was just no flashes to help a Senthiel go for a swing, and even if he did, he had that heads-up duel with Yuri. So, tough one. But remember, the cash was flowing for Bait off of the 3-round stretch. So they can buy again, and Sizzy will bring out the AWP. Similar looking setup right now from the CTs. Kinder aggressive short. Quiero to connector. Molotov starting over towards Ticket. Yuri forward position on A. And then Fallen anchoring down that B site.
Here comes a fight Sizzy was setting up for. T-Flash, however, backs him away.
He's searching.
He is searching and jiggling. Quiero goes down. Beautiful opening. Ooh. Not so beautiful smoke.
Well, we'll give him that one.
I think so, especially with an opening kill against Furia. Rare to see Quiero caught like that.
Is this going to be a finish back to B again?
They've proven they're capable.
Rerouting the bomb on Kenzizor. Aware of the ramp push. We've seen this work for Yuri. He's been great in these forward positions on A so far.
I'm curious if they've kind of learned their lesson, if they've relayed how he was approaching this forward ramp hold.
Yeah, they're using elevation. Does Alex play up?
Right, that's not looking to be the case. Okay, how are your clears? Kenzizor walks in, the shadow. Oh, it betrays them. Yuri too. Not enough bullets.
Molotov here.
Should be good to collect now. One Palace, NPL late mid. Oh, Fallen, did you make a step? Oh, neither of them aware of one another. It looks like NPL should have him here. Dead to rise, yeah, back turn.
20 seconds, have to go A.
Gotta go A. You got Molotov posted CT, an opportunity for greatness on the cross. Oh. Nice shots, everyone connecting. Sizzy opens and closes, triple kill from the new young gun.
Yeah, steady on the AWP. Through underpass, finding that connector pick. Sure, missing a window smoke, but that's impact.
That's huge.
6 rounds now on the board for Bait, and you're happy with that.
And especially just, it warms your heart to see the kind of smug pride of wash over his face as he realizes what he's done. Gets his boys there sick.
This is the important trade of the round. Sure, he gets the opener and the close, but without this one right here, bombs down ramp and Yuri's won it. That's an important fight for Sizzy under a lot of pressure in that scenario. So well done from the 16-year-old.
First port of call was underpass. Now, on the anti-eco, just goes Palace to hold for any pushes.
And this is for 7.
Not even hold, sorry. He is peeking, he's pushing. And we are going to be seeing a Senthiel's AK rip off Yuri's head. Look at Senthiel, he wants all of them. He's going to take them all if you're not careful. 4 of the 5. Alex just pushes it over the line.
Okay, so that's 7 out of, 8 available. 1 round coming up. Can Furia hold on to something? Second tactical timeout to be called by Sid, so he really wants this 5th. Furia feeling it right now. As brought up by the desk, this was a bit of a weakness to start the year for Furia. This is their most played map of 2026 so far. And this is because teams were picking it against them, right? They lost 4 straight, Heroic, Paravision, Foot, and Mongols. And then with all those reps in, knowing that it was getting exploited, they're putting a lot of time into it. Now they've won 5 straight. Na'Vi, Astralis, Aurora, Spirit, Vitality.
Oh, and they're no slouches either. I mean, taking down a lot of the top dogs.
Yeah, it was the map that they won in that final in Krakow. So them being under pressure on this map, that's not new territory, not in 2026. So been here before, will they be able to dig themselves out of it? Their map choice of Inferno coming up next, and Dust 2, if we need to take it there.
Looks like Sizzy's got his instas down. Molotov receives a Senthiel. Looks like Kenzizor wants to make a playthrough con. Yuri, easy pickup for MPL. Goes pushing Palace, held by the Kalash. Looks like Fallen said, I'm cool on B. Gonna free up your Kinder to try and piece together Furia's 5th.
Plan A. Oh, I
thought about it.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, then probably for better. Kenzizor under window, Sizzy over towards Delpan, and MPL coming to join this. So Alex will be late through Palace. They need this connector space if they want to finish A. Fallen taking space. They know it has to be the A play or up short.
Oh, Quiero didn't spot him over the edge of the smoke on that jump. Kenzizor gives them that advantage. Molotov quickly returns the favor. Sizzy's AWP. Oh, not easy. MPL still hits the shot. Sizzy's AWP now noted. It's a 2-on-2, high stakes and plenty of time. Oh, what? He was fully flashed, just pulls the trigger perfectly. Now Sizzy in the clutch. What have you got? Peeking in, knows what's up, but Molotov does too. Quad kill to close, looking good on that AWP.
And that's the first time it's felt like Molotov's been able to force himself into the game, right? So AWP comes out, gets the opening pick. I think that's his first opening within that half of play. And then he's just locking them down from that point. So well done to salvage the 5th. They had a patch of 3 and then Spotty on the tail end of the half. A minute break, and then we get things back underway immediately. So this one's on.
It's definitely on.
There's no reason that Bait can't make this a competitive affair unless they completely capitulate now on their CT side.
I think there's grounds for that being a possibility.
Well, the aim in the first couple of rounds, even when they were winning, right? They won the pistol, then they won against the eco, and it looked like some shaky aim moments there. And then going into the first gun round, that lingered, but being able to break through with the patch of 3, right? Within that, you highlighted it, they just lost 1 casualty. So they did start to dominate Furia in that sense. Can they make it 2 from 2 pistols? That will sit them up pretty. And apply even more pressure to Furia, who you can see are feeling it to some degree. Yuri had a couple of nice moments over towards A. Molotov there at the tail end.
It's a selfless Kenzizor, facilitates 2 armored dual Berettas. So Fallen throws a bit of an A fake, and Yakinda tries to sell it.
How skittish are they?
Oh, not ideal, and you miss the Molotov. Yakinda has an opportunity. Does Alex.
Actually, they rotated. They did rotate.
They pulled the bodies. Kenzizor will try and get back to the fight, but Molotov has already removed MPL. Oh, headshot hit and finished off. Molotov double kill entry into the B site. Oh, caught in the open. Lucky to get away with his life there. It's through the smoke. Helped by Kisarato. Play on the fade, this elevated position could catch him off guard. Look at the pre-aim, look at the pre-aim! Still doesn't find it! Big from Sizzy. Molodoy's got that perfect flank, and it's up to Sizzy in the 1v1. Can you deny Molodoy the 4K? Oh! Yes, you can! Stunning from Sizzy!
He's going to Sizzler, baby! That is beautiful work. Diffused to come through, and they've just snatched that away. The pistol for Furia worked. It drew the rotation. The side was susceptible. But this kid... Beautiful little 3-piece right there. That puts the smile on the face.
Yeah, man. I mean, of course it does. You want to talk about impact? You highlighted that one onto ramp, which would have, otherwise been a lost round. This, however, is a save. What an incredible save.
Well, the fact it draws the rotation, right? It felt pretty limp. Missed utility, stalled out immediately, but on the fade, that's the beauty.
Kisarato was pre-aiming his head as that smoke faded. He still wins out.
Oh, look at that. All right, well, bomb going down. No, we know what that means. A pretty strong force fight for Furia.
Pat yourself on the back.
Hey, get himself an AWP. Now, how can that go wrong? Lose the round, Molotov takes it and starts giving it to you. Well, let's see. Oh, can they trundle?
Oh, that's a nasty death for NPL.
Does Ken still let him past?
Yes. He's going to hope to be overlooked and get the craziest of backstabs.
Oh,
nothing.
Save.
Absolutely nothing.
The walls feel like they're closing in that moment if you're a Senthil. Yeah, I've let them up short. Yep, they're coming B-apps, and you just tucked Van. That is a tough one. But that happened rapidly from
Furia.
What an
audacious call. Like, Chad, you've never called, all right, boys, we're all just going to walk up Cat instantaneously with a window smoke.
Well, there's some keys here that Furia are trying to exploit against Bait. So one of them being on the pistol, it's like, all right, these are young kids. They're in their first official of this event. Let's fake them out a bit, right? That's the pistol. This one's like, all right, well, let's just go direct, because your level of respect, if you're Furia, everyone at the top level, they can shoot, right? But you need to act with that bravado and that confidence. Well, highlighting Mr. J-Raz, showing the simple sticker on the AWP.
He's an inspiration to many of the top snipers of today.
Okay, so didn't reveal the orb?
Didn't reveal the orb, you're right, yeah.
So, look, if he is able to find an opening incision right now, there is that surprise factor. Does Fallen call something direct again?
I feel like you kind of got away with murder, pulling that one off.
And now you got a bit more to work with, so could just run a standard round. Probe, get that info.
Yeah, meet the CT's expectations of what a standard round could feel like. A little one shot from the Deagle, doesn't even pull the trigger as Santhiel was playing that headshot. Look at the cheek of this all push.
Well, he's done this, I've been watching him the whole time, he hasn't scoped in. He's done it completely silently.
Just ready to react.
Okay, well, has given them a roost now. over towards Palace, and Alex is actually going to keep on pushing the issue.
Interesting. They've got the bomb in spawn, so this actually could be exploitable if Alex was to get that info, but hasn't rounded that corner.
Well, since he gets back to ticket, obviously Con is a concern, but just can focus fire ramp. So like it's getting pieced together for an A split. Now the bomb heading back and 2 lingering around window / middle.
Oh, Sizzy quick onto Yuri, spots the advance, but Fallen punishes. So with the AWP now gone, the question is, where is MPL? Where is that hidden Alex on Palace? Still can go wrong for Fury at 35 seconds, starting to commit. Sential's rotated over. Queserato tasked with the plant.
Can Alex
MPL,
deny?
can he deny? Knocked off by the MP9. Molodoi will catch Alex though. Oh, it's collapsing. An opportunity certainly was there, but looks to have fallen by the wayside. Chance for Kensizor goes awry as well.
Yeah, a couple of moments there. Well handled from Furia. Aware of all the nuances of that situation. And they will get Molodoi his AWP. Didn't have to buy that one, did he?
You know, it's the best. It's like food, you know, an AWP that's free feels even better. We are going to once again take a little tactical, I think.
Yeah, this is Bait calling it, which they're in eco territory right now. So curious to see what this one is about. Maybe there was a bit of a disagreement going on within the team speak, but either way, with the money that everyone's seeing on screen right now, you wouldn't have been buying. So notes are out. Coach is reading off the page. Players are taking a look as well. $2,400 into the next round. You can see what type of buy. They get a couple of kills on the CT side, give himself a smattering of $50 here, there, and everywhere. So you're still hoping to extract some value out of this one before things are tied up 8-8. So spotless, nothing invested.
What could you possibly hope to achieve? Kinder's going to have a whole squad rounding that corner. Fallen might even be able to swing out and finish the job. Yukinda, how? He'll leave with 2.
Almost felt like he was on safari there.
Yeah, it did, like he is just watching.
The wild ecoing CTs walk up to the catwalk to their demise.
Dancing to their demise. MPL got an MP7 out of that.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he had one.
Temporarily. All right, well, hey.
I enjoyed it.
Took a timeout, walked up catwalk.
I don't think that was what Madden was talking about.
Now listen, guys, we're going to take this 30 seconds and no, together. All right, so yeah, we're spacing here. I want 2 of you to line up. Yeah, perfect.
He couldn't believe his eyes.
Yeah, there's too much choice. The problem of modern society. All right, well, guns to be re-equipped, and Sizzy did have enough to bring out another AWP with the loss bonus siphoning through. So we get to see him and Molodoi locking horns. But this was both pistols for Bait. And then a force bite loss that I'm sure they would like to forget. That happened awfully quickly. Oh, okay. That ain't how she meant to go.
No window. Ooh, no AWPer. Queserato's just slapped the AWP out of the round.
Now, how long does it take Bait to find a response? Right? Do they group up? Do we have a move?
Ooh, you get a frag. How about that? And a missed shot from Molodoi. Zorp as well. Zorp back away, concedes the space. It's Queserato just on the warpath. Nice out though on the sidebox. Yeah, could have, didn't. Sential's been caught. Queserato finds number 2. PGL, good work. Pivots into Yuri. No trade available. Molodoi tries and succeeds. Oh, jiggle. Runs a revealer. Kensizor, massive multi. Puts it into the 1v1. Gets weird for Fallen in this 1v1. Kind of gets weird for Alex as well, unless he finds the bomb. She is starting to maneuver forward.
Yeah, when does Fallen hit the shift key? Now.
Yeah, early enough.
Okay, so...
But now bomb.
Alex is going to find
What's your reaction to this? Get up on the elevation. Going to be really hard for Fallen to
Oh, Alex. That's Counter-Strike timing right there, isn't it?
Yeah, just in time. Gets his boots on the ground.
Yeah, Fallen's a step further. That ain't going to go Alex's way any day of the week. Okay. Well, they battle back into that. That is with the death of Sizzy immediately.
Yeah,
he got deleted. Top stairs gone.
quiero hit a couple of very important kills on the A side.
So here it is again.
Oh, damn.
Just letting him get a chance right there. Shot goes off and popping that all around the server.
Well, it has affected them. They weren't able to retrieve it.
Right now, on the rough end of the buy, Sizzy with a Famous, Essential MP7. They're all ready to fight middle right now. They can clamp down on this as a unit.
Not blind. Molodoi pulls the trigger. NPL looking for the trade, recovered by Yakinda. Looking good for Furia. 3 in the feed. The round already just grinds to a halt for Bait.
But you see the idea, don't you? It's grouped up. It's team-based. They know what util they need to throw and just not blind. A key position. Feels like you're gifting it to Furia, but for Bait, you'd be kicking yourself. They were for a mid control. We had the setup. We're ready to clamp down.
Full on board, takes that fight. Catches Sizzy on retreat.
Well, I think they might know where you are.
I think so as well. Yuri wasn't acting like he did. I think didn't quite catch the call.
All right, well, back down to what should be just another eco.
Nice, Daniel, nice, Daniel.
It is 3 languages, isn't it? All the time.
All right, well, do you wonder if this is where it gets away from Bay? I understand the scoreline still reads close, but this is double digits. Feeling like a certainty right now. That first 2 kills just got way too easy, right? Trade. Okay. Maybe you can come out in the chaos.
But just like Yakinda's positioning, if Molodoi does, as he did, hit that shot, it's just perfect to punish anyone trying to chase down an AWPer.
This is one of the things in CS2, though, with the way that the smokes work and they oscillate, playing around the smoke and even playing in the smoke when you're expecting to push through, that's a skill within itself.
Yeah.
More development of the game.
When you go back and watch CSGO stuff now, it's the smokes that stand out. It's crazy what we were playing with.
Yeah.
Like a grey smudge on your screen.
It looks wild in comparison.
What you got? An uncrouch instant headshot was what Alex was hoping for, but they will get the info safely. And they're in no hurry.
Yeah, these are the types of rounds that you don't need to rush. You definitely can, right? You could just do one of those executes onto A with the smokes and mollies are in the air and you come running out, but this would be too much. That's 2 AKs.
Yeah, it's 2 AKs.
If they can get to it.
This shot, now they can. We saw Vitality win an eco from that short side.
Well, quiero is the insurance policy. He's so deep.
Yeah, he's going to spot him on the rotate, but that AK gets brought down, brought to his knees, clean from the bench position. Oh, and he even gets the luxury of information on NPL. So quiero's bailed him out there.
Oh, if Alex can get his hands on that gun, he can get out and save, but while he lands at the doorstep, right as he was trying to pry that one off the corpse.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get his fingertips on it.
Still take the risk. It's
held by quiero.
Hang around, wait for the bomb to go off, see if it pushes us further in your direction. Does he throw his away and pick up the Lucy? Just going to guard it with his body, quiero, and there you have it, Alex. That's not for you.
Smart.
MPL backs off. So, key for MPL, he's got 3.1. He can now safely drop this AWP, have a gun, and get the Kevlar to go with it. So, oh, okay. One's just called A-execute by the sound of things. Actually, attack timeout called. So, Sid can interject and things can change. It's tough when you are certain coaches and you're playing with legendary in-game leaders, right? Because you're going to contribute, you're going to have a lot to say in these scenarios, but you're dealing with a guy like Fallen who's been doing this for 20 plus years, right? So what sage advice can you offer?
I mean, sometimes I imagine it's more of like kind of just you are like the extra external hard drive for Fallen's brain, you know, like if you need any
things that you might be overlooking, things that you might not have considered so far. Oh, they did this, they could have this.
don't forget this was a reaction we've discussed and blah, 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 blah. Just helps kind of, you know, give you more space to focus on the crosshair while calling the shots.
Okay, well, it isn't an A execute, it's out top mid.
It is. Quiro's already across. It's been really powerful position from Furia. We've seen lots of players occupy this Delperm position and find success.
All right, so they get him out mid. He can lurk actively now. Holiday started over towards B to see if he could find something, but they will rotate back to join the rest of the team. And turns out it was an A execute after all. Just not out their gates. Just not.
Well, it's that fakery you were highlighting, especially against a team integrating new players and younger players.
You just want them to, in this moment, think it's a default.
Right.
You want them to think you're just going through the map control, but now they know.
It's going to be a test. Behind the smokes, Kenzazor going to try and swing through. Alex has got balcony. Forced away, they heard that. But maybe looking the wrong way. Still, Yakinda gets one in the cover. Provided by Fallen. Should be an easy find for Quiro's. Knife out for Sizzy and his AWP, getting nothing done. Oh, clean with it.
Okay, so right, looking hot-handed right now. 15 kills for him. Molotov at the tippy top with 17. And that's going to be some of the issues for a player like Sizzy, is the awareness in these situations of what's going on. Always being ready for the lurk. So getting caught there. He's hearing A execute. He sees the trades go down. He knows they've lost the sight, and he's just not ready for a player. Pushed out early to Delpan. So that'd be another one to add to the tally. 11 to 9.
Su madre es rusa y su padre es alemán.
And again, you just reflect on the pistol. It's the Sizzy clutch. You need to be able to convert off the back of that. Those are the type of rounds that are going to elevate you in a so much stronger position within this half. You win that one, Fury down to an eco.
Hay veces en las que, bueno, hay gente que entra, que sí me escribe, pero usualmente solamente las personas que entran a ver acá el stream no escriben nada y ven, ¿y este pendejo quién es? Y ven que... Que bueno, son gente que probablemente viene de alguna recomendación de YouTube o gente que viene de ver algunos de los videos los primeros que subí de Rubius, que viene hasta acá. Dice, ¿y este pendejo qué es? Me interesa verlo.
They want to try and contest this in regulation. So this is an all-in shove.
Does this not indicate to Furia it's a likely shove when you hear it, when you see the timeout?
Well, it's also, you know, maybe they wanted to buy and the coach is saying no. I think you go in expecting a buy, right? So you're going to be on high alert right now for Fury regardless.
Okay,
you know there was a safe gun, you're going to expect some type of trick. And then as soon as you see the block utils start to come in, you go, okay, well, seeming a bit more like a gun round.
Bueno.
Towards the ramp side, boost for Molotov, making
40 minutos, no sé, ha pasado mucho tiempo, pero
we had an opportunity.
Las rondas de estos no han avanzado mucho, que son 20.
Jump away from Yuri, gets him unscathed.
You definitely know what's brought in now, don't you?
You know, ellos tienen una Dragon Lore y tiene una de esas acá raras.
So pressure's immediately, like you've already felt pressure, B apps and ramp.
I wonder in this situation if you just go for a crazy gamble as bait, right? You just hunker down on one of these sites and go, okay, well, they're hunkering down on both. They have sold the middle completely.
Yeah.
No short info, no con info. Could boost window. There's so many different concerns right now, so they're hedging their bets. Kenzazor and MPL to defend B.
I mean,
pregunto cómo se habrá dado cuenta la gente de estas estrategias.
It's not even the concern, is it?
Apenas creo, no sé, quizá el Counter-Strike 1 y luego el Counter-Strike Global Offensive. No se crearon esas tácticas de, ok, hay una ruta acá en la que se puede tirar una granada desde la base contra terroristas. Permite bloquear esta zona. O si son cosas que está recibiendo Valve, feedback que fueron añadiendo.
PGL though, kicking up a fuss. Massive double.
Kenzazor hearing this, he's heard this. This is a free kill.
Oh my
this
God.
is a free kill.
And it's going to come down to... MPL will punish.
Yo no tengo alertas para...
Knows where one of them is. MPL CT and Kenzazor. Oh, perfect headshot. What a turnaround. Saving the day.
Yo no tengo nada de...
Wow.
Okay, MPL.
Hace falta agregarlo.
Kenzo is probably screaming, I've got
Me
him.
gusta
And MPL's like, no,
unos
I've got him.
overlays
Don't you worry about
para
that.
alertas
Then
de
Kenzo erupts coming through jungle.
Born
Gives away
Peanut
the sound cue.
de
Molodoi knows where
Bitey
both
Byte.
are in that moment.
Kenzo had to hit that first bullet, or Molodoi is making that a 1v1, swapping to his pistol.
Pero para eso sí tendría que crear una
Followed by the
animación.
flames as he gets one.
You think that kill there is MPL with his clawback? Finds two of them.
Yeah, it's scrappy for the second, but that's the one that counts. That's the one that really throws around.
¡Pau! Lo atrapó, literalmente. Se asomó, se agachó y estaba justo en el objetivo.
Lifeline, away back in.
Hell yeah. Positive signs from Bait. Molodoi flashed in, but Sizzy's there. Opening kill provided.
Looking comfy, 17 kills.
Yeah,
he's taking it to Furia right now.
He's thriving.
Having clutches, getting openings, looking comfy, not backing down for a fight. Sure, there's been moments where he's been caught off by rotations, but this is the big boy table. They're going to happen.
Yeah, such is life.
Even with this, still going to be tough to break through the Furia finances. Molodoi has enough to buy into the next, even with the 1900 loss.
Oh, no,
Quesarado can drop a gun.
Creo que ese se le llama largo,
The
¿no?
result on this one.
Long.
Cynthia had another mare. Remember the first half, Fallen coming through that smoke. So two of them. It's hasn't cost them in the long run, at least not yet.
Boom. Juego. Por si va a rotar. Y de hecho sí va a rotar, ¿no?
Move, see if anybody oversteps.
You might get that head-to-head with Fallen, and now you're peeking back into it. Whoa, that's quick!
No lo vi, eso no lo vi.
Stunning from Sizzy! He is really introducing himself to the world. Here
Hold. No.
Quick with it. Stunning headshot onto Fallen. He's taken down Molodoi and Fallen.
Yeah.
With a
Two
sniper.
different generations.
Hay que seguir mirando esa zona.
All right, well, that might just be the save right now. 15 seconds left. Sure, they've got the bomb, but it's the Fangs who are going to park themselves over in Palace. All tied up 11-11.
Palace.
Just a replay. I would love
que ese lugar se llama Palace.
The second one is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, right? Like, it's the quickest of quickscopes.
You know.
Fallen just sat on his ass by 16, you said?
Yeah.
16 years of age, Sizzy. Young talents. Introducing themselves to the world.
Well, this is the playground of Mirage. This is where the Puggers really get going. We have Inferno up next. If he's able to look anywhere near as comfortable, look at this one.
Headshot. Overkill.
If he can look anywhere near as comfortable, right, maybe show a bit of proficiency on the rifle and Inferno, having a couple, okay, now we're starting to have a conversation. Early days, but why not hype him up?
Absolutely. There's been plenty of first-time players that haven't had a first map like this.
Boom. And he's staying active. Look at this, boosted up. Apartments. Looking for a deep line pick and won't be obliged just yet. Quesarado doesn't look like he's going to return. It's top mid control that they have garnered. With that deep angle, it gives them a lot of information for Bait to be able to have a bit more of an educated guess.
Está preparando una granada, ¿no? Es una granada de fuego, ¿no? Lo que se lanzaba ahí. ¿Aló? Espera. Yo. Espera. Hace mucho tiempo que no juego este mapa y de verdad no me acuerdo de si las cajas siempre han estado ahí.
That's a brilliant grenade. Look at Quesarado walking at 30. Needs the flashbang as well. They're slowing him down. A nade smoke break that doesn't reveal Alex, and now Quesarado's going to try and punish MPL sidelining. Finds a little safe haven.
Fading.
It's going to fade. Quesarado looks just in time. Adjusting finds the headshot, looking for 12, looking damn good for 12.
MPL were losing his mind there on that player cam.
Oh, Essential's got to be really careful.
Plantó.
Running into the AWP line.
Pero lo eliminó antes de plantar. No lo veo, entonces chiquito desde acá, pero bueno, está apretando la pantalla y correcto.
Might not. might not.
Te atrapó. Oye, me extraña que no lo haya eliminado antes. Oye, tenía la bendita ventaja y ni siquiera estaba apuntándose a la cabeza y tuvo que matarlo con la coordinación esta que tiene pues, al disparar en ráfagas. Bueno, ráfagas no. Ya está 12-11, loco. Está muy parejo.
It looked good. The fight's just not going their way. So here we go. Can they push us into OT?
They actually a double up for a second.
Yeah, 4, 3.
Okay, Serato had one as well.
3 ahí en ventana.
Okay.
3 ahí en ventana. Eso jamás lo he visto.
Yeah,
he's already so low. Round's just started.
There is a second up. Maybe Yukinder on the HP might find that appealing.
Imagen. Pues pusieron ese de cámara en esa.
More influential this time. Just stuck in B apartment, so hanging around middle.
They're starting to make their move. Will Sissy once again go looking? Confirmation that box is occupied.
Porque cuando dice confirmación es una confirmación de que hay gente ahí.
Just hoping to catch the cross of Serato. Excuse me, it's Yukinder.
Yeah, and he's still playing quite aggressively, right? He can be naded in this position. This is why it's only taken it late, but also still spamming. Not catching anything. Grouped up towards B.
¿Esa granada donde llega a la ventana?
He's trying to act bigger than he is.
No me he dado cuenta si ellos están utilizando el coso que le permite calcular los ángulos de las granadas al lanzarlas. O bueno, antes de lanzarlas.
He's had a great little resuscitation of form. Oof, and a precise headshot from Yukinder as well.
All right, well, Science still deliver this one.
Yeah,
it was close.
Very
close.
Close.
They pushed him.
Nah, uy, se salvaron que ninguno se le dio de eso.
Was this the best bet though? Is Inferno a different story? We're going to find out when we get there. For now, just go for the cherry on top. 13-11.
Yeah, okay, that's 6 straight barrage wins for Furia now, but that one got tense. Let's throw this over to Richard and the boys.
Yeah, nice hot toss there. We love that because that ended in the right way. A brilliant entry from Serato to finish things off. We thought we might be going to OT, but Furia showed just enough glimpses of their old selves. Got to say, though, very impressed with what Bait were able to do on that map, and certainly, you know, a real close one.
Yeah, they made it competitive. They made it competitive to a point where you were thinking and feeling that maybe Furia would lose, that maybe Furia wouldn't get it over the finish line. So in that essence, that's nice. That's better than expected from Bait. But at the end of the day, got nothing to show for. They still ended up losing.
Cuando hacen esto en vivo, ¿cómo hacen esto? Es que hay unas opciones de multicámara, de cosas que, bueno, es que se van grabando y quedan como, pero algo así, están grabadas. Quizás les permite cambiar de escena constantemente. Me pregunto cómo hacen estos clips, estos highlights. Por ejemplo, pasa algo y realmente pues toman como antes de sacar el clip lo que hacen es una función que les permite sacar, no sé, los 5 entre lo que pasó, 3 segundos antes de lo que pasó y 3 segundos después de lo que pasó, que se saca del clip y lo mantienen ahí almacenado para mostrarlo como highlights al final de la ronda.
Yeah, as Alex said at one moment, it's essential.
Aunque esto es, no sé si esto es punto de partida o si simplemente ya ganaron este mapa.
I mean, look, obviously, this is who we have to talk about, Serato. I think such a tenured career. I also want to go on the record and say, okay, you were right. You shouldn't have joined Team Liquid. Well done.
They brought Team Liquid to him, really, in a way. They made themselves international, right?
Fair enough. But no, like, such a fantastic player, obviously, right up there at the end of year lists. And some people felt he could have been a lot higher. And I just love watching him play. He's a really well-rounded player, has so many different abilities as a rifler. You know?
I think the cool thing about Serato is that we often speak about players with longevity, you know, that they remain good or they remain close to the top level. I think there's a case to be made that he's still, you know, exploring whether or not we can hit a peak Serato once more, you know, that this may be the best version that we get here in 2026 together with Furia, obviously, and relying on them finding more success. But he's off to a strong start. He's been very consistent as we know him to be, and he's playing Counter-Strike at an incredible high level. And I feel like he's a big part of the reason as to why Furia as well. Like, I know we speak about Molodoi, we speak about Yukinder, we speak about Fallen, but let's not forget that Quesarado also came back to being a world-class rifler, which he's been for many years.
Let's not forget about the best Brazilian player, really.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important. He's had a phase where other players have too, where the team isn't doing well and he just has to do more, right? Like he has to do more things that he would like. He has to maybe go outside the scope of his role. But not anymore.
Esos espacios.
He can just
Claramente jugar un
what
mapa.
he does best, which
Son
is,
dos,
you know,
luego
being that sort
son
of
los principales y luego el tercer decisivo.
off of the space
Porque
created by some of the other members
los
of the team,
equipos,
bueno,
un equipo gana un mapa y el otro equipo gana un mapa pues, para desempatar con un tercer mapa en donde
like that, it's really what happens towards the
gana,
end on those rounds
gana,
when people's
gana
money
y
is
clasifica.
starting to get broken and what have you. So I think we'll take a look at round 13.
Yeah, the pistol round, because I feel like Chad and Alex said it as well during the cast. Like you gotta convert if you look at the scoreline right here for Bait, getting off to a good start in the first half. You then end up winning the pistol as well. Spoiler right here, but it gets into a scenario where we see Sissy for the first time come in and find real hardcore impact. Furia actually outplayed Bait in this one. They made a B execute. They kind of lured them out. They have a 3v2. They have a 2v1. Unfortunately for them, not able to convert. Sissy coming in with 3 kills, winning a 1v2, and you think to yourself, 8-5, you convert the next round, you have 9 rounds. Chad said it, maybe you're the first team to be at 11. So that was the moment in the game where I thought, all right, Bait, you have a chance of winning this matchup now.
I mean, a great clutch from him as well. I mean, you know, for a youngster really kind of announcing himself, you know, to tier 1 CS.
Bueno, preciso, bueno, ahorita ya no está pasando absolutamente nada, pero necesito retirarme si probablemente pueda terminar el directo en un par de minutos.
You have to remember, for a player like that, everything is new to him, right? Like traveling, going to a different country, media days, right? Plugging your gear, having the overhead headphones, noise cancelling, having to play with ears probably. So there's definitely a process for
después de regresar. Ya no será reaccionando a esto, quizás será jugando directamente contra Strike, depende de si mi amigo está disponible para jugar. Y estaré trabajando en lo que me falta hacer de contenido.
Be a little bit more careful, and that's to be expected. As I said, there's definitely going to be this whole season most likely is just going to be a learning experience for some of those things, and how does tier 1/tier 2 Counter-Strike really work?
If anything, he showed that mechanically he's very sound. You know, I think his reactions and how fast he was killing people with the AWP, that was impressive. I very much agree with Yanko in the sense that he maybe fell short in terms of his positioning, in terms of understanding what was going on, but you're also playing against one of the best teams in the world. You are Bait, so had it not been him, it would have been someone else to be
Half-Life.
So, if anything, he put himself on the map right now, and from
Blue
a mechanical
algo.
standpoint, being 16 years of age and playing that well already, I know, small sample size, but make no mistake, when you can fire off the up that fast and be somewhat precise, you're gonna have a great career.
And you know, again, Jacob referencing how Bait sucks. I think we have a nice round to reference that as well, because they did have missteps, you know, on a macro level as well in some key moments, right? So this is a reset round where they want to fight for mid. This is a CT smoke, 2 deep, Molotov.
Es verdad, se me olvidó esa granada. Y se puede tirar en esa zona, en esa esquina.
CT smoke for cover, and by the time a player actually comes to clear him and try to do something, he's already, you know, can see everything. You can see in a mid-fight, which actually wasn't a bad call. Really, at that
qué increíble, tengo muchas ganas de volver a jugar. Por ejemplo, Fortnite lo quiero jugar, pero para algo competitivo. Para algo competitivo, contra Strike también en cierto punto. Pero Fortnite lo quiero jugar específicamente para algo competitivo. Construcción, jugando, torneos competitivos de construcción.
Massacred, right? And that's due to some of these small details where you just have to be on point against a team like Furia.
So Inferno coming up next. Obviously, we said there were some wobbles on Mirage at the previous tournament that Furia corrected. Bait not able to exploit them. What are the odds for them on Inferno?
Not great, to be completely honest. I think the odds of them winning Mirage were the best chances they had in this matchup in order to get much done. I think Furia have shown time and time again that they can play Inferno obviously at a high level, but also at a consistent level. It's not a map where they have, you know, too many upset losses, or a map where you feel like, oh, that wasn't your day. Whereas Mirage has been a little bit up and down, as Chad also said. You know, you lose 4 in a row, you win 5 in a row. I see a bit more consistency coming out of Furia. Also, you know, speaking to Bait, integrating a new player, integrating an AWP player as well, that's young, 16 years of age. Mirage is probably one of the easier maps in terms of making your rotations, not being caught off guard. There's going to be a lot of scenarios right here where he's going to be stuck behind a smoke, stuck behind a Molotov, maybe stuck out of position unless he's on the front foot, so to speak. And I think that's a significantly harder job for Sissy. So in terms of the map layout right here, not really a positive.
Interested to see how he does, because obviously the step up
ahí voy, full cam. Ahí estoy. Porque es tan horrible la cámara. Porque, imagen, tengo demasiado. Sí, más o menos ahí, se ve correcto. No, es que las zonas oscuras están feas. Aquí se ve mucho más correcto. Pero obviamente no hay suficiente. Volveré. Ve, voy a volver, ve. Pero en la tarde. Pero en la tarde. Y hice solo 2 horitas de stream. Verde. Ah, mira, se puede ocultar los viewers on... Uy, se me escapa a veces el inglés. Lo de Streamlabs. Me deja refrescar el chat. ¿Refresco? No hay nada nuevo, así que... Hasta luego. Voy a esperar a que me alcance el delay. Hasta luego.